Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, I'm here with my husband, Noel. Hello, Southern Charm, Amy Treasures. I saw somebody else. Joanna said good morning. Rawson, Vermont Vintage Finds. Vermont Vintage Finds. Maybe I could say it right this morning. Happy, what day are we? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Y'all, I'm super excited about something I got to tell you about. I'm like, I don't know. I just had a great day yesterday. I'll tell you why. Common misconception, and it could just be me. Honestly, I have this. There needs to be a term for it. We need to like come up with some phrase for when you can't read whatnot names. There has to be like a legit like name for not being able to read whatnot names. And whatever it is, I have it. So unless it's a super easy name and you have spaces, I'm lost and I'm going to slaughter it, and it's nothing personal. It's hard to do. Yes, absolutely. When your brain's trying to do like 20 different things, absolutely hard to do. So Wednesday morning, we may have a guest appearance. We may. I'm just waiting to see. We'll see. For those of you who also follow and check out I Love Discounts, you may have noticed that they were doing their show yesterday from our studio, which was so much fun. Let me tell you what, you guys. I was behind the scenes. I came once or twice, popped into camera, but I was just tagging stuff. Tony was selling, and I was just putting numbers on there. I loved it. Easiest job in the world, y'all. It was a fun show. But you go from here, where you've got your mind on 50 million things, to just all I got to do is make sure I put the right number on the right item. Oh, I loved it. It was like a relaxing hour where I got to actually just enjoy the show. So we always, yeah, I want to be the tagger person. Tony looked overwhelmed and Lysandra looked like a pro. He did say, I got something tickling my nose, like right here. It's like tickling, makes him think I'm going to sneeze. He did say that it's harder to be up here than it looks. And he didn't even have to deal with Noel. So, I mean, he had it easy. It's like going from a high power executive job. Yeah, such a relief. Like you don't have to make the decisions. All you got to do is just match up this tag to this item and I'm good. Then that's success for the day, right? So, good morning, Lemon Tree. Yeah, and Lysandra pushed them buttons good. She knew exactly what she was over there to push it, doing what she needed to do, running the cameras. Wife's up. It would. Forgotten Memories. There is some people, I don't know who they are, but they do the husbands of Raid, or the spouses. I think they call it the spouses of Raid, the spouses of Whatnot Raid Train, where they switch places. I'm not sure who runs it. I just remember seeing a thumbnail. Tim always thinks being a Southern Charm. Same here. Noel thinks like what I'm doing up here is nothing.
I don't think. I know. I've been on camera. That is easy, Southern Charm. Come on.
Oh, good, Coast. I'm so glad you got it. Good morning, Mel and Stella. Exactly. It is not easy. For those of you thinking about...
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, LBR. For those of you thinking about selling, if you're not selling yet, it's not as easy as people seem to make it look. If somebody makes it look easy, it's probably because they've been doing it for a while and been practicing at it. It's not super simple. You're watching the chat. You're feeling the vibe of the room. Should I switch my times? Should I switch the items I'm showing? You're trying to be responsive. You're trying to run the auctions the right way.
Mel, Lysandra's awake. And good morning, the Polish picker.
And I hope Lysandra's awake. Tony's asleep, but by the time I'm done with the show, he'll probably be awake because we're in our basement. And you guys, I've shown some of you, you've kind of seen it, but I have my studio here. We're separated by a curtain, just a curtain. I have my gym, there's a living room, and then there's the guest bedroom. So he is no more than about 30 feet away from me while I'm over here being loud, and he's probably asleep. So, okay, hold on. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? Pull the curtain which way? I can't pull the curtain. I don't know what he's trying to make me do. So, y'all hold on. I guess there's technical difficulties with the curtain.
He's trying to show me. I can see the camera moved. Pointing at me.
Okay. Oh, that's what you're trying to do. Okay, he's over there going, pull the curtain, pull the curtain. I'm like, what in the world are you trying to tell me to do? I'm like, there you go. Hence the difficulties of whatnot.
So there's these things, they're called whiteboards.
Yes, and he has one. Hey, what Liz likes.
There's this thing as like.
Take a field. Oh my God. Did you see Southern Charm? She says, take a field trip and go wake Tony up. I'm not sure he'd appreciate that.
Look, I got Tony a shitty pet portrait too.
Liz, we're just waiting on you. Come on. I was hoping you were gonna bring donuts.
Tennessee, congratulations on your first show. That is wonderful. It is not, but it does get easier in some sense where some things, the more you do it, becomes like routine for you to do it. Girl Friday Crafts, hello. Susie Lynn, good morning. It is a party over here. We have Tony and Lysandra. We are having a great time. Hopefully we can maybe do a little sourcing today. We'll see. They have a show tonight, so don't miss their show. I don't think we're going techie. I think we're going to go the normal jewelry show route, but that's still cool. They were sorting jewelry. I am like fascinated by the whole jewelry thing. I am not getting back into selling jewelry, but I have been watching how they sort and organize, and just I'm learning a lot on that side just by observing and watching. The Cozy Old Farmhouse, hello. So you guys, I have to tell you, I have been talking a long time about expanding, right? And it was, I got to get more shipping. I got to get a shipping help, which I got my daughter. You know what? Let's take all these words off the screen. I had to get some shipping help, which I got. And then it was getting more inventory. Now that if I got shipping help, now I can sell more. So I need to source more. So I had an opportunity come up yesterday, and I'm hoping this is going to turn out to be a long opportunity. But I'm going to take the Green 13 method here of naming our sources, of giving them some secret code name. We're going to call my new source the Professor. And the Professor came through. I got the biggest, at least to me, one of the biggest hauls that I've ever been able to obtain at one time of Fenton. And oh my gosh, Fenton, Fiesta Ware, and there's some other miscellaneous glass in there, but 90% Fenton. And when I say it's like the biggest haul, I sent Southern Charm pictures this morning. The little Fenton figurines, like the glass bears, mice, butterflies, polar bear, you name it. I did not get a hen on the nest, but there is a small cat on a nest, a salt cellar cat on a nest. No bee boxes, no, not yet. But what I got, I'm super excited about it, and hopefully this is going to lead to another, more of a longer term.
Can I show mine?
Yeah. Oh, Lysandra got one here, so she's going to show you hers just to give you an idea of what's coming up in my shows. No, if I find an armadillo plate, that's my retirement plan. I'm just going to hunt for an armadillo plate so I can retire.
That's some amazing Fiesta Ware. Look. Wait, we should put it on this camera.
Here we
right?
go. This is one piece from yesterday.
Look, it had to be a bunny.
Look at how adorable. Look at the painting on there. But you name the animal, we probably got it in yesterday. We got over 34 of, not bunnies, but of figurines. They're all signed. Oh, does this one glow?
I don't think this one glows.
I don't think this guy glows. A lot of them are glow. Koala. Did we get a koala?
No.
Of course, you're going to name the one animal I didn't get.
You got a penguin.
We got a penguin. No, I don't have my flashlight. I don't know where it is. You took it. But elephants,
You
yep, we
probably
got
gave it to
elephants.
Tony.
He did. So that's my life right now. My husband is like, he's going like this. Y'all, just what does this mean? Does this mean like let's get a grenade and blow up everything? Is that, because my husband's sitting over there doing this. In case you don't know, unofficial sign language, Noel sign language, this means flashlight.
Is that what flashlight means?
Yeah,
That's not
Daisy
what I
Lane
get.
got it, yeah.
Thank you, Daisy Lane. Great minds think alike.
I like Southern Charms. Great minds. I'm doing a great job. That's what it means. It's like he's clapping at me with his thumb. That's what it means. Anyways, and then he's like, do the flashlight. He gave it away. I don't have a flashlight over here anymore. Yes, back to expansion. Okay, so first step, sourcing. We're working on that. It's hopefully gonna keep going good.
She forgets.
I saw a house yesterday, a possible whatnot house. Turn me back on, thank you. I saw a possible whatnot house yesterday. I've been talking about this for months and months and months, and there is a house for sale 2 doors down from me. So I live in like a little neighborhood in the middle of nowhere, literally surrounded by cornfields. And so we have a neighborhood and about 40 houses in this little neighborhood. And 2 doors down, a house went for sale. It is such a turn off. Wow, Papa's getting on you. 2 doors down, like I guess it's technically 3. There's 2 houses. It's my house, 2 houses, and then the one for sale. We went and looked at it. It's half the size of my house, which is fine because, in my head, half the size, half the price, right? And it would work. It has a walkout basement. Basement's not finished, but we could make it work. And so what we're thinking, we went and toured it, took Tony and Lysandra with us yesterday, and we all walked around and critiqued the house. Needs paint, needs all the cosmetic stuff, which is fine, but structurally, it's wonderful. But what we're thinking is field trip, close put a lock on the inside of the basement door because there's a walkout so we can get to the basement from the outside. Put the whole business in the basement, which it would fit. It would give me more space than what I have now. And then Airbnb the upper part of the house, which is 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath that we would be able to Airbnb to help. So we have some investment property there. Moving. I know. Well, we wouldn't even really be moving. So those of you who don't know, my expansion plan is to buy a whatnot house. Sounds very bougie. It's not really as bougie as it sounds. It is, instead of buying a warehouse or a commercial property, we're looking at buying a residential. Sean MC, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. We are looking at buying a residential property and using a portion for the business and then having it either to Airbnb or to save for, let it appreciate. And I don't want to do a full rental. I'm a little nervous about that. I'll tell you why. But let it appreciate. And then if we outgrow that and we move our business into something bigger, I still have a property that's easy to sell or easy to rent as a revenue stream. So full rental. The reason I don't want to do a full rental is because I'll be going there frequently, like the walkout of the basements in the backyard, like I'd have to go around. I just kind of feel weird about somebody living there full time and me constantly doing my business out of there. In addition, I probably would lock off the garage and use that for my purposes. So they wouldn't have access to a garage. So it works better for like an Airbnb, or when we have people come to town, they actually have a nice place to stay and they can have some privacy and stuff. And sometimes it's hard going to somebody's house, but here's like a place to stay. So, Sean, thank you. It is beautiful up here. I really do like it, except in the wintertime. Rented to I Love Discounts. We've talked, hey, they're like, we're going to just come in and stay here every winter. Or no, every summer. It wasn't winter.
Coming here in the winter.
Every summer. A Big Brother house. See, Millicent, there we go. We can do the CEO challenge. I like that. Nobody else probably would like that, but that's pretty cool. So anyways, we'll see. We're discussing whether we want to put in an offer or not. There's a lot to think about. It's an investment property, which requires a larger down payment. So we're considering it. You could do another season. Good morning, Lori. But that's my news. That's kind of where we're at. Hopefully, maybe we'll be purchasing a house. It's in good shape, so we'll see. And I know the neighborhood. I'm familiar. I mean, I live here, so here's the thing. The downside of not working in your home. Here's the downside. I can get up at 5 in the morning or 10 at night, walk to my basement in my pajamas and slippers, and pack, organize things, clean inventory. I could do that stuff. If you're in a warehouse, if you're somewhere else, that's a little more difficult. Either you're away from your home, either longer hours, or you have to get in your car and drive there. I absolutely love the thought of just being able, I could still wear my slippers and walk 2 doors down if I wanted to. So that's kind of a huge, huge draw for me. In addition, I have a 15-year-old. Yeah, she could stay at home by herself, but do I want to be 30 minutes away constantly? Whereas if we're just 2 houses down, it's easy to come home, grab food, interact, all that kind of stuff. So there, you know how it is. I mean, all of you have lives, and I'm sure you could think about how something like that would work in your life. So with that's all my news. Let's talk about, let's see here. I'm going to go over here really quick and just make sure I'm watching stuff. I do have stuff in the bin. We're going to try to run things a little bit different today. So you'll see, we're kind of trying to mix it up. I put more in the auction tab than I used to. I am trying to expand my shows a little bit. What are you saying? The neighbor's going to call 911 if I walk 2 doors down in my pajamas? Not really. I don't think so. So who got the email from Whatnot yesterday? Let me tell you, this email from Whatnot was a whole bunch of rambling with no real conclusion. You want to talk about say a lot of words but have no meaning email? Whatnot. Who's writing your marketing material? Like, ChatGPT could have done better than that. So basically, this email that came out, they rambled on and on and on, saying this is what's coming in the next 3 to 6 months. And it was all about listings. We heard this at the summit, so we kind of already had a little preview of all of those people that went to the summit. But it talked about how 90% of the listings on Whatnot are generic, random type listings where it says like lot number, random poll, so they are those temporary type generic listings. 90% of the listings on Whatnot are generic. Whatnot doesn't like that. Why don't they like that? Because they're hooked up with Google, right? They can't search those type of things. They feel that it's a detriment to new buyers coming on the app because new buyers are typically coming from a static site. So all of us as sellers were like, you don't get any of those kind of emails? That's weird. I don't know why. I mean, I have no idea. You can search a marketplace, yes, but Whatnot so all the new buyers that Whatnot's bringing in, they're coming from like eBay or these sites where what they do is they go in and they search for what they want versus looking at live shows for the most part. So what they're trying to do, instead of being innovative and leading the way and changing buyer behavior, they're trying to adapt to buyer behavior. I get that. It's easier to adapt to existing behavior than it is to change somebody's behavior to learn a new thing. However, if you're just adapting, you're not innovating. So that's my point on it. I'm a little disappointed that Whatnot is going the route of this is what people do, so we're just going to accommodate them versus let's lead the way in this new way of shopping and buying. So 90% of listings are generic. Whatnot says that 9% of users last year, only 9% of new users' first time purchase was a generic listing. That means 91% of new users that came onto the app, their first purchase was a quality listing. So that Whatnot says, they're interpreting this as new users want quality listings. Either that or they're trying to sell it to us in that way. I don't necessarily believe it. I believe the statistics. I don't believe that that's why they're saying. You can't, I'm saying why would show listings matter if you can't search them anyways? Exactly. They shouldn't matter. But I think they're trying to make it searchable because even what they're thinking is if you're loading your show, you're not doing it during the show. You're doing it before the show. So there is still a time period that those listings are searchable. So, yeah, and I love Discounts is saying that this is because how they're used to doing it from, they don't want Whatnot to be the extent, but they don't want Whatnot to be the exception, the standout. Exactly. They're kind of going along the line. They're adapting to what everybody's doing versus them being the leader in something. I think that's sad. If they want it to be, they'll have to make advantageous money-wise. I like pre-listers, but definitely it is time-intensive. And that Whatnot should be looking at what their sellers are doing. Their sellers are their money makers. We're the ones, even as small people, are the ones making them the money. If we are all saying 90% of all listings are generic, that means 90% of your people don't want to do quality listings. I see those. Thank you so much. So makes you want to do more temporary. Yeah. Isn't this app known for the live says others aren't exactly known for that? Exactly, Swamp Chick. That's the whole thing. So why are they not capitalizing on that? Anyways, they're going to push pre-listing. Doesn't mean you have to do it. They're not getting rid of random. They didn't say that. But they are coming out with tools where they're trying to meet you in the middle is what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, okay, we understand you don't want to take the time to put all this information in. We're going to provide templates that are kind of a generic type template that will help you. Like if you say you're selling Adidas shoes, you can put a listing in using their templates for Adidas shoes, and they're quantity free, so you don't have to attach a quantity. So you may have Adidas shoes in size 5 to 10. You don't need to do a listing for size 5, a listing for 6, a listing for all the way up. You just do one Adidas shoes 5-10, and now they have something to search. So if somebody's looking for Adidas shoes, they can direct you to them, and you can still have multiple different sizes, and it's not tied to a specific quantity. So that's where they're heading. They said it's coming out in 3 to 6 months. Yeah, they did contradict themselves, Southern Charm, in that email. It was a little, I spent a lot of time reading it, and then I had to reread it because I'm like, did I understand what I just think I understood? It was a lot of words for a lot of nothing, basically, the email. But we do like to come on here and tell you about when we see those and kind of try to update people. So in addition to that, you know, they have the Shopify integration. They just rolled that out. That's part of their major plan. So some of the stuff we're seeing right now, the Shopify integration, the changes with the shipping, this is all part of a larger integrated plan to move towards more of a comprehensive listing type thing. So think eBay. Not that we're going to be eBay, but that's kind of like, it sounds like what they're trying to push on these quality listings. But that's all the email said. So that was that. I do see some pre-bids. I'm going to do pre-bids just a couple at a time. I don't want to do like I've been doing 10 or so at a time. We're just going to do a few at a time. We're just going to talk a little bit about them. But I do want, look at this, guys. Is this not gorgeous? Is this not the most beautiful blue? There is a call out on this I want to show you because I'm about to run this one. I saw the pre-bid. I don't know if you can see it. We're going to switch cameras right here. Behind my finger, there is a little chip, but it is hard to see. But I can feel the roughness there. That is the only call out. With that nice ruffly top, it isn't super visible. I'll show you from the other side right there. So it almost looks like it's part of it. So it's not a really bad call out. How beautiful is that? A little bit of a ponto mark on there that's rough on the bottom. Such a gorgeous blue. We're gonna run this one. 10 seconds. 5-second reset because I've been told 3 seconds is not enough. And 5.5 inches tall. Crazy how other sites are trying to be like Whatnot and Whatnot's trying to be like the other sites. Melon Stella, congratulations. That is heading to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally agree. So I don't know. I want to know first, throw something in the chat if you're a pre-lister. If you're predominantly a pre-list person, throw some emojis in the chat. I kind of want to get the feel here. Wow, it's blowing up fast. I know Daisy Lane. Daisy Lane's been having a lot of success with pre-listing, you guys. So I've gone back to it and I've been having success with it. What did you put in the chat? I missed it. They're laughing over there. You guys, do you know? I can't tell you how hard it is to do this show right now. My husband's here, Lysandra's here, and they are like just nonstop, and I'm like, my squirrel brain is all over. We have a ton of pre-listers. Unwilling participants. Southern Charm, what? So, okay, this makes a good point. So we have a ton of you that pre-list. Awesome. Girl Friday's like, nope, can't do it. Why are you unwilling? Why is it, why do you not just switch to random? Just curious if you want to share. Okay, so that makes me think everybody else is random. One of my trolls has way too much access, no kidding. Because you get more money if you pre-list. Absolutely, that's how I feel. How many people agree with that? For those of you that have gone to the side of pre-listing, you do it because you're seeing an increased bid value. So we have organization, polished pickers, yep, better bids, better prices when I'm pre-listing. That's why I'm doing it. I'm getting better prices. Doing shows, it's easier on the shipping. Papa's absolutely, it does make it easier. I don't know if you just have to have a system in place, but yes.
Good morning, Be More Thrifty.
Hello, Be More. Squirrel brain, can't do it because of squirrel brain. Forces you to get organized. So pros and cons.
Just get a Tracy, and when your show's done, your stuff's already pre-wrapped and labeled.
I wrapped the show for them yesterday. I can't pre-list because of squirrel brain. Forgotten memories, you do jewelry though. I would assume that if you're doing bulk jewelry, that it is much more difficult and too time consuming to pre-list. I think pre-listing is more for less volume, more curation. It doesn't make sense for bulk to me.
Good morning, Rosan. Yes, we are.
We are. We do a mix. So I'm going to be honest here. As I move to doing more and more shows, so I would do about 100 items a show previously. I've been on a focus to get down to about 50 higher quality items. I do not pre-list pre-listing jewelry would be bad. So I've been on this move to downsize to about 50, and I'm not really downsizing. I'm trying to do less quantity, higher quality. But now, if this source continues to provide, if I'm able to continue sourcing at this new place with The Professor, we're naming my source The Professor, I am going to continue to pre-list 40 to 50 items, but I will be adding on a lot more randoms, and hopefully in the near future, adding on a whole nother selling show. And some randoms lately, and it's working. Quality items. Yeah, so the stuff that you really want the highest prices on, pre-list, do randoms on the other, mix it up throughout the show. I kind of thinking wanting to go back to more of a hybrid style too. Jewelry is so hard to photograph, Daisy Lane. I couldn't get a good photograph of my jewelry to save my life. I don't do good photographs anyways. You would think with all this equipment and my husband being all techie the way he is, that my photographs would be like top notch. No, I go too fast. I am like, put it on there, take a picture. Like I'm trying to go too fast. Oh, curio. Uh-oh. Them are fighting words. We got it. We got a disagreement going. Whatnot CSV is not great. CSV is a lifesaver. Scuba Stevio, you sure did. They are like right there in my basement. Did you want to say something? He's giving me the look. Speaking of, I love discounts.
Tony's still asleep. He'll come out in a minute and be like,
Comma separated value. That's what CSV stand for. Comma separated value. Which
Okay.
is basically an Excel spreadsheet that has different columns, and when you save it, it saves it as a text file with commas in between the values. And when you send it to Whatnot imports all that information and puts it in the right format for their system. That's all what it does.
I am curious, Curio, why it doesn't work well for you is number one question. Number two, have you gone to Crystal Vintage Collection show to see how she does CSV? Show on Friday, and it changed exactly. Melon Stella cards. CSV has changed. That I would not pre-list if it wasn't for CSV. So basically, for those of you who do not do CSV, I can pre-list a show of 50 to 60 items in about an hour and a half. That doesn't include, can you tag Crystal,
Sure.
please? Thank you.
I'll do it.
That doesn't include cleaning items, removing price tags. It doesn't include that. It includes photograph to listing on Whatnot in about an hour and a half with CSV. That's 50 to 60 items. When you're using a CSV, I pull it into Excel. So I'm speaking, but Excel, Google Sheets, they're going to work similar. I only change, basically there's two main columns that I change, the title and the description. The title, I try to make it a good title. The description is as brief as it possibly can be. Size, call outs, just the information that somebody absolutely would want to know in order to make a pre-bid. Then since I do dollar starts, the price is the same. I leave my weights the same. So everything else is pretty much the same. That means that for all the columns, all those fields, if you think about inputting inventory, all those fields that you need to complete, I only complete 2 of them on my Excel, the CSV file. I copy and paste everything else down. That's a huge time saver right there. Those of you that are opening up, add inventory or create a product, whatever the button says, and then you got to click and do this, and then click and put the title, and click and put the description, and click and
No,
that's a lot of
Curio.
work.
You don't have to keep it on Google Sheets. You can download it on your computer, open it on Excel,
Mm-hmm.
and then even you can open it on, you don't need Excel. Excel helps you see the columns properly, but you can type it on a regular text editor and just separate all your values by commas, and then make sure that the naming convention is according to whatnot, the same way the template is, and then upload that information. That's easy. The only thing that is missing is that you cannot upload photos. You have to upload the photos kind of manually once all the information is uploaded to the
It's
OneNote
still a
system.
time saver. Fill, copy, paste, either way. It just depends what column it is. If it's a column without numbers, I'll do fill. The other ones I'll do copy, paste. Usually what I do is I know about how many numbers. I usually have about 60 items, so it's kind of already done for me. But if I need extra rows, I just copy one and just paste it down easy.
Delta Martin, it is. Give me a second and I'll show you a little bit.
He'll try to pull it up so we can show the people who don't do it. I love it. It is such a time saver. So my system, I'm going to run through my system, then I'm going to sell something. So the system I do, I pull everything out. I usually kind of put it in some sort of order that I know I want to sell it in. I do kind of like mid-grade, bangers, mid-grade. And so I pick it up, I do all my photographs on the table, photograph quick, run through the photographs, and then I sit there with my computer and I do my title descriptions, and that's it. I stage it back here behind me, and then I'll usually sit in bed at night and I'll just attach my photos. Just open up my computer, open up one item at a time, make sure that I didn't make a typing error. Very, very common thing. I do it all the time for the typing errors. Add the photo and hit publish, and it's done. It is such a time saver. I would not be able to do it without it. Go ahead and show.
All right, so this is Whatnot Help. So help.whatnot.com, and all you need to do is on the search bar type in CSV, and then you can see right there bulk import products from a CSV file. You click that and it opens up the article and explains to you exactly what you need to do. Create your CSV file, upload the CSV file, and then down here where it says choose a CSV template for your account, you're going to use the very first one for US. When you click that one, it's going to open up in Google Sheets. But if you right click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to give you the chance to open it. So hold on one second. And you can see right there, category, subcategory, tile, and the list keeps going on. I can't scroll too easy on this vertical format, but it gives you an example of the information you need to fill in there. So you can use Google Sheets and save it and then download the final file, or you can just download the file directly from the article and edit it in Excel, which is what we do. It's a lot easier.
Yep. Definitely is a game changer, time saver if you are a pre-lister. Now, if you're random, we'll talk about randoms in a little bit. You guys, real quick on this one. I sold this 2 weeks ago. The person who bought it in my show, right after the show, said, I don't think I want that for whatever reason. This is, while I sell vintage decor, this is newer, more contemporary piece, so you can probably buy it in a store. I haven't seen it in a store. It is wonderful, and we're going to sell it for $1. I have seen it on Amazon, excuse me. So just full disclosure, it is not vintage, but this is gorgeous. Look at this ceramic top, blue and white. How beautiful, with a wood base. This would make the most gorgeous centerpiece. We're gonna go ahead and run it right now. For those of you that are interested in this, it's up and going. The top is about 9 inches. Oh, look at 9.5, I'm good. 9.5 inches, 6.5 inches tall. And look how gorgeous that is. If you like blue and white, but also like the wood natural look, this is it right here. Beautiful.
Definitely, Curio. Give it a try. It's a lot easier because sometimes you are familiar with different things, and so.
Ducks in the chat, you guys. Thank you, Mill and Stella.
Thank you for your first purchase.
All right. Thank you, guys. Yeah, definitely try that. Now, those of you that do randoms, I'm not against doing randoms either. There is a full legitimate reasons why you do random polls. And what Whatnot even recognized the fact that people do random polls, because what just happened? They said anybody who doesn't thrift with Tiff, we run on multiple cameras. We run on, I don't know how many at this point, 7 cameras, something like that, 7 or 8. So my husband has a whole command center over there. He is into audio video, and he controls all of our cameras and our graphics. We run everything through computer systems, not through phone. I always feel every time I say this, I have to add the disclosure. If you are new, you can run a very successful Whatnot show just on your iPhone. You do not need fancy cameras. I always feel like I need to say that disclosure. It's the same thing. Addict Shares, it's the same thing. It's all graphics. Will you run I Love Discounts graphics? This is the one my husband made for I Love Discount. I'm going to pretend like I'm a sexy rabbit. Look at this.
Please put bunnies in the chat.
Ooh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Woot, woot.
He made that for I Love Discounts because they did their show here yesterday. So that's right. Everybody's putting bunnies in the chat for you. So what I was saying is Whatnot recognized the fact that...
I'll show you the nightmare real quick.
Oh, okay. Let me hold on my thought here because the gentleman in my life would like to show you his toys.
So there she is. You can see her right there. And that's where she sits. And this is my nightmare that everybody complains about. So I got a little bit of buttons all over the place. A little bit of wires all over the place.
It's so much. It's so extra.
And
He does love me.
a little bit of
And I love him too most days.
equipment, as you can see.
WKRP. Oh, yeah. I remember that show. Yep.
There she is. And then this is the view from her side.
So this is what I see when I'm sitting here. I have that camera in front of me, and I'm reading your comments on that screen right in front of me. We have lights. The Cozy Old Farmhouse. I'll answer that question in 1 second. This is where I can see when I remember to turn it on. I got my iPad. Stuff that sells goes right there. We have our labeler. We have a black box for when we do glow shows. There is a camera on the side of the black box so we can show you what's in it. And then inventory goes here. So as I'm selling, that's back there. We do have a green screen, so some shows will pop up that green screen. And that's it. And then very low tech, right? There you go. And now you're going to get sick by looking at his hand. That is our studio.
And let me switch it back to her.
Let me answer this question, and then we're going to talk about what Whatnot just did. Let's see. Question: where can I find my numbers after a show? A simple summary of the amount you sold, the fees taken out, any extra shipping cost. I looked under finance and I can't. So the Cozy Old Farmhouse, you are correct. Whatnot's back-end accounting system leaves a lot to be desired. But let me tell you what I do, where I get my numbers from. And this is probably what I think is the easiest way. First place you go is the email Whatnot sends you right after your show. That's your summary email. It's going to give you your gross. It's going to give you your coupon spend. If you do coupons, it'll tell you that. It tells you the number of your first-time buyers, which is an important number. I'm trying to think of what else it tells you. Those are the ones that I really look at. Those are the numbers that I pay really close attention to. So that's some information. The next place you're going to go is your shipping screen on your computer. When you look at your shipping screen, it's going to give you gross sales, and then it's going to give you a number for it's going to give you your number after fees and shipping, and it's going to show you the shipping that was deducted that you paid during your show, only during the show. So using those numbers, you can then figure out what your fees are, and you'll know what your shipping is, okay? Then after all of that, the last place you go after you do your shipping, if while you're shipping you have adjustments that you need to pay for, those are going to go to your ledger. So then after that, you would go to your ledger to find shipping charges that were charged to you while you were doing shipping. So there's kind of 3 places if you want your information immediately after a show. We're going to talk a little bit about metrics and stuff, and I think that's a lot of information to focus on all at one time. for immediately after a show. It's a lot. So what I would suggest is after a show, pick 1 or 2 metrics that you're really focused on improving. No more than 2 tops. I would even say pick 1, but 1 or 2 that you're focused on, and only look at those metrics. Okay, those are the only metrics you need to look at immediately after a show. Then at least once a week, you can go to finances and you can download a Google Sheets Excel file, download a spreadsheet of all your weekly sales. It's not the easiest one. You kind of have to have a little Google Sheets Excel experience to manipulate that, but you can get more information from there. Finally, the best thing, and what I kind of use as a reconciliation each month, is in your finances, there is a monthly report. It's put out on the 4th of every month, and that's going to give you all of the information you want broken down. The shipping you were charged, the fees you were charged, your gross amount, what your withdrawals were, what you pulled out, so your cash out. It's going to give you all that information. The only thing it will not give you is what your coupons were. So if you're using coupons and people are redeeming them, the only place to get that super, super easy, besides like the Excel reports, is the What Not Summary email. What you had to pay. So I keep a packing set for myself with the email that I get after the show, and if I have to pay extra shipping on it. Oh, that's a good idea, Southern Charm. That's another way to do that. Myra, congratulations. Maya, sorry. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. I love that. That's a really, that goes along with the KISS method of just print the packing list and jot down when you're having to charge, when you're hitting that button to say, yes, I agree, I'm going to pay that shipping cost. Then you write it down.
Good morning, the Thrifty Cottage. Good morning, the Thrifty Cottage.
Good morning. Delta Martin, absolutely 100%. I did a whole thing about coupons, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Let me tell you, I don't remember all the numbers exactly. I'll give you some statistics though. I do coupons, you guys, just so you know how coupons, because what I hear, just in case you guys, my husband moved all my stuff on me. I don't know where you put it. Oh, giveaways today are CEO affirmation cards. As always, you guys, that's what we'll be running whenever my husband clicks the giveaway button. Hint, hint. Click the giveaway button. Hint, hint. You. As he stares at me not doing it. So I guess I gotta do giveaway. There we go. Okay. Coupons. So I do, you can see up here, I don't know if you can zoom in. Those are my rewards cards. Those are basically coupons. I added it up. It is basically $1,500. I don't know what's wrong with him this morning, Rawson.
Good morning, on the River Trading.
I basically give out $1,500 per person. You have the chance as an individual in my shows to get $1,500 worth of coupons from me every single year. So the value of using those throughout the course of the year, if you got every single one of the coupons that I give out. And there are people who have every one that I've given out so far. I Love Discounts, Southern Charm, A Monster Mama. I know those are 3 off the top of my head that probably have numbers 1 through 18 already. So I give out all those coupons, $1,500 a person. That could be over like $150,000 easily because I print 100 of each coupon. Do you think that I'm afraid that people are going to redeem $157,000 worth of coupons? Absolutely not. Anybody who doesn't already know, if you already heard me give this number, don't guess. For the Bird Theory too has probably a lot of them. Haven't redeemed one yet. If you already don't know, if you didn't hear me say the number, what is the percentage that people redeem those coupons? What is my redemption rate on those coupons? Melancilla guesses 10. You guys are way too high. 1.8%. Dragonfly is the closest. Forgotten Memories is right there. 1.8, so let's round it to 2%. 2%. That means of all the coupons I send out, only 2% are ever used on my show. But do you know what coupons do? Coupons are a feel-good. When you get a coupon, when you get any little extra treat, usually it's like, oh, that's cool. Whether you throw it away, whether you pin it up on your refrigerator, whether you stick it next to it, it is a feel-good. I am showing an act of goodwill, and it is received as an act of goodwill. Nobody gets a coupon and says, damn her, she sent me a coupon. If you do, that's their problem. That's a pretty grumpy person, right? So it looks good. If somebody takes advantage of it, they get a good deal. They're happy. And guess what? They can't use the coupon unless they're spending money in my show. God forbid you should do that, right? Coupons are wonderful. Whether if you it really could, whether you forget you have it when you can really use it. Exactly. Yeah, Forgotten Memories. Grain 13 uses coupons in a strategic way too. It's not, he doesn't use them as coupons. I'm like, coupons as giveies? So there is only one way you can use a coupon as a givey that is allowed on Whatnot. And if you want to see how it's done, you got to go see I Love Discounts. You cannot put a coupon in your giveaway and advertise it. Your giveaway has to be redeemable in that show. It has to be of current value. It cannot be of future redeemable value. So,
And you have to mail something.
and you have to mail something. So in mine, I showed you my giveaways are a CEO affirmation card. Okay. When you look at the description, I'm not going to tell you, it's not going to mention coupons whatsoever. But when I hold this up here, you can clearly see every time I send something out, I put a coupon code in there. I put one of my cards in. So while I'm not advertising it, you see them there. That's okay to do.
Good morning, Aaron.
So you can just add coupons without advertising it. The next thing you can do is what, like I Love Discount does. Hello, Aaron. Is like Chubby, they call it Chubby Bucks. And that is a coupon when somebody wins a giveaway that they immediately, and I'm talking right then and there when the winner is drawn, they email the coupon code that's redeemable in that show. So that person gets $10 free in that show right in the moment. It's not good for the next show. It's not good for any other show. It's right in that moment in that show. That's okay because it's of current value. So other than that, if somebody is saying, our giveaway is for a $20 coupon to my next show, they're breaking terms of service. And then we mail them a gift in the mail. Yep. And then I Love Discounts will send them a little something in the mail, PWE, stickers, postcards, anything that fits PWE. So they aren't. What's aren't? Forgotten Memories. Expand.
Gift cards are not immediately redeemable.
Are not gift cards are not. Oh,
If you go up.
if I go up, which is weird because gift cards are not. No, but I agree with that. But it is a physical product that they can mail. It's. I think it's just they think it's. I don't know. Okay, good point. Mary Lack, I got to think on that. I've got to look and see why a gift card would be and not a coupon. Maybe because I don't know. How do you affix shippings on giveys to a stamp? Do you want to come and explain that? I have the shipping queen with me today, y'all. I'm going to let her answer that. What's their percentage used? Lori, on my coupons, 1.8. So let's say 2% is the usage on my coupons. Second, easy new seller to use for giveaways. Presley's, before Lysandra answers how to do a stamp, how to do a PWE, Presley's, while she's answering, I'm going to watch for your answer. Why do you want to do giveaways? Tell me that first. All right, I'm going to let... Oh, she needs a microphone. Okay, just come close to me. Tell them how to do a
Let me
PWE.
put my boobs on her shoulders.
We're getting all cozy
Four
here, yeah.
things. If you go into your ship settings for your account, you have to toggle on first class shipping. The second thing you do is you go into the ship settings on your show and do the same thing. Toggle on first class shipping. Then when you make the listing for the giveaway, pick a sticker category, trading cards, any of those types of things. Stickers is typically the main, just use that one. And it must be 0 to 1 ounces. That will activate that PWE shipping, as they call it, plain white envelope, and it'll send it out for 78 cents. And you can do that up to 3 ounces, so they could win 3 giveaways. Or they could purchase 3 PWE type things, and you can still ship it in that plain white envelope.
Thank you.
And if you need our YouTube, I Love Discounts, if you go look at the last Ship Happens show, I said the same thing in there.
And every Monday night at 5 p.m., Lysandra does a shipping show. It's called Ship Happens. And you can go and ask all kinds of questions. She will walk you through beginning to end on shipping. So absolutely check out Why am I hearing myself? Okay. I'm going to answer the giveaway question here. If you give away a gift card as a givey, for example, and you email code to the winner, do you still have to? Yes, you always have to mail something. So you print the packing list, write a little thank you on there, congratulations, and send that.
Good morning, Sassy.
Hello, Sassy.
And let me see if I can bring that up. So, whoops. Nope. Forget it.
I felt like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
I'm going to have to pick a different show. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm going to answer the question here. Somebody asked about doing giveaways.
There it is. That's going to be a lot easier. Let's go to CG.
I'll get right back.
So, as you can see in CG, if you go to the wallet,
We're still in my show.
right there on the bottom, it says promo code. That's where you enter the coupons. And then you hit apply. And the moment you hit apply, there's going to be a little banner on the bottom right here below where you text when you send the chat. That's where the banner is going to be that tells you what the promo code is being applied. Yes.
He did nail the CG Rose, didn't he? Okay, so the answer to why you want to do giveaways that was put in the chat is to get followers and keep people in the room. Let's address each of these one at a time. To keep people in the room. I'm assuming you're doing PWE. PWE to me means either you're doing probably a low, if you're going to do a lot of these, you're not doing $100 gift cards, particularly if you're new, you're probably doing $5 gift cards. Or you're doing postcards, face masks, stickers. Do any of those things for all of you in the room here. If somebody's running those giveaways, does that make you stay in a room for 5 minutes? Thank you. Okay. The couple sometimes, maybe if it's $5 or $10 and you're really a Starbucks fan and you want that gift card. Forgotten Memory says even $100 gift cards. So number one, before we even answer this, you don't have to do giveaways. 2, people aren't going to stay just because you run a giveaway. It's not an effective method to get people to stay in your room. What is an effective method to get people to stay in your room is to involve your chat, is to run good items, is to have an entertaining show. That's number 1. Number 2, followers. Yes, you can gain followers. Who here thinks followers are important to your success on Whatnot? If you think followers are important to your success as a seller on Whatnot, put a yes in the chat or a no if you're like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what's important on Whatnot? Buyers and repeat buyers. So getting new buyers, having repeat buyers. You can have a group of 10 people that are your diehard people that are coming back and new people floating in every now and then and run a hugely successful Whatnot business. So don't run giveaways just to get followers or just to keep people in a room. It is an ineffective way to do that. Now, I'm not against giveaways. Some people will complain about and some people complain. You open yourself up to bad reviews. So you got to have a thick skin. You got to be willing to be like, I might get a bad review for this. The reason you should be doing giveaways has to tie to your business purpose. It should be strategic. The only reason I do giveaways here is to encourage somebody that is in a chat show to come back to a selling show. Why? It gives them a taste of who I am. They see that I can ship quickly. They see that my shipping looks professional when they get it. They usually will get a coupon code to spend in another show. There is a very strategic purpose for me to do giveaways in a chat show is to hopefully entice somebody to come back to a selling show and buy something. Even though I'm doing a selling show here, that's not the primary focus. So I hope that answers your question, and I'm not trying to get on you, but giveaways aren't necessary, particularly if you're brand new. Unless you have an existing business, if you're brand new, you're probably not making a lot of money right now. Pour that money into something else. Instead of doing giveaways, do $1 or $2 start items. Do a little bit less of a shipping cost. And that's going to gain you more people to come back to your shows, which is what you want, versus somebody just staying there to get a free coffee. Well, I'm not getting on you. It's one of those things that I don't know.
I'm waiting on free breakfast.
Lysandra's over here like, you told me you take me to breakfast, people.
No, he said he'd cook me breakfast.
Oh, he's going to cook breakfast. I am very passionate about things. You guys, I think this may be Fenton. Do you think this is Fenton?
It's Daisy and Button.
Daisy and Button pattern. We do have a little chippy right here on this side. We're just kind of selling in between talking here. I'm not going to do a huge focus on selling. Let's switch it around over here so I can show you up close. Oh man, that's washed out. Look at that. What's my cameraman doing? Let me show you the little chippy. It's right here. See, on the underside of the rim. Really cool hat though. Daisy and button. Gonna run right now if you like yourself some milk glass. You have the same hat. This is from my personal collection. I got a new piece, had to take a piece out. That's the rule. Unmarked Fenton. That's what I'm thinking it was Fenton. It just doesn't say. Presley's Pickens with the first purchase.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Did you run the graphic?
Give me 1 second.
Thank you for your first purchase.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. We're going to do this one really quick while we're at it, and then we'll go back to answering another question. Happy Valentine's Day. Does anybody like Butter Pats? I have 4 today. We're going to run one right now.
There you go, Southern Charm. You want more hearts? Here you go.
Jody's Rack Shack. Congratulations on that giveaway. Will you switch my camera for me, Mr. Cameraman? We have a Butter Pat for you. I keep hearing they're hard to get, but all of a sudden they are all over in my neck of the woods. So we have another one today for you. Beautiful porcelain Butter Pat. It is an original Butter Pat. It is not a child's plate. It is not fake. That's my other pet peeve, you guys, when people sell Butter Pats that aren't Butter Pats. I know.
Mine's Sooner vases.
Which I have. Yvonne with the first purchase. Congratulations. Ducks in the chat.
Thank you for your
Why
first
did I
purchase.
choose a duck? You want to hear the duck story? I'll tell you the duck story. He's looking at me. It's actually a personal story. By the size of it, Molly. So Butter Pats are 3 inches. They're 3 inches. They usually don't have the indentation for a cup. They don't look like a little teacup saucer. 2 3/4, 3 1/4 inch Butter Pat size. You want to see the duck again? Why does the duck have tail feathers? These are questions I cannot answer. I have no idea.
Welcome in to Zoe's Treasures.
You about made me spit my coffee out. You cannot do that to me when I have a coffee cup to my lips. Okay. The duck story. When we started Zoe's Treasures, obviously Zoe's Treasures, there's no duck, indication there. Ever since me and my husband were together, he has called me Pato. My husband's Hispanic. Pato is duck in Spanish. And he has called, he gets mad at me when my phone rings during shows. He has called me Pato for many reasons. You know, when you're married to somebody, you give these cute little nicknames. But he also says when I get out of the shower that I leave water everywhere. So he started calling me Pato, which then turned around to I call him Pato Grande. And it turned into my daughter will call me Pato, and it just became a household name.
Have you ever seen a duck come out of the water? And how they come out of the water, they shake themselves off, and then there's water all over the place. That's exactly what happens.
She does, and she calls me Potato. My daughter, Pato turned into Potato. So she called me, my daughter then started calling me Pato. So then we were doing shows, and she's like, we found these she came home from school one day with these cute, tiny little plastic ducks. And she's like, look, it's a Pato. You should give these out to people who buy stuff in your show. And this is when I first started Whatnot. So I'm like, what a cute idea. So we started giving ducks out. So it just became natural when my husband started putting graphics in that they were duck graphics. We since have stopped giving the ducks out. But Pato stuck. Then Pato turned into Potato. My daughter calls me Potato now. So, those weird things you do at home, the stuff that you're like, Tracy, you're way too weird. She calls me Potato. I'll call her asparagus or some other vegetable. But that's our life. That's the weirdness that goes on in my household. That's the duck story. Forgotten memories. We may need to talk. That is not a bad idea. I'll make a little note here. Call Zach about ducks. Does he still have one on your workbench? I know Southern Charm had a bunch for a long time. And then I did duck pens. And honestly, I stopped putting things in boxes when I started to do free shipping, when I went to Dollar Starts, because those are the giveaways. So I want you guys to kind of think about that too. If you're a new seller, and we were talking about giveaways in a minute, what's the most effective use of that money? You give elephants to your first time buyers. That's awesome. What's the most effective use of your money? Is it putting things in boxes? Yes, it makes people feel good. They may collect it. They may remember you, but does it necessarily make them come back to your show? Is it just for like, it's an afterthought? Does it help increase sales? So kind of think about what you're doing. Dollar starts, reduced shipping, low starts, free shipping, all those things. It helps on the front end, which helps increase the revenue that ultimately then you can start buying more stuff to put in boxes, right? And it is good to give things to people who support you. Absolutely 100%. I do not disagree. You need to take care of your repeat buyers. That is the foundation of your business. That is what is going to keep you afloat when times are tough in your business. I'm just not necessarily in agreement. I would rather take that money and keep Dollar Starts. I'd rather take a loss on a few items because a Dollar Start, everybody in the room has a chance to get a good deal, which makes everybody feel good. Don't mention it in the show. You cannot use stuff to entice people to buy like that. You can't say, oh, I'm going to give you a free gift if you buy this. You cannot do that. Sassy Vintage Chick. Being here for 3 years and all the people I talk to, I've never heard, I'm going to buy from the seller because I got, exactly. There you go, Sassy Vintage Chick. But people will say, they do Dollar Starts and they have really high quality items. I got a chance at getting something good. They'll go to a show for that. They'll go to a show because people like the excitement of seeing things bid up. They like the excitement to see if they're the winner. They like those dopamine hits. They like reduced shipping. They like to fill a box and not pay a whole lot to get it to them. Those are the things that keep people coming back. They like the entertainment. They like the person. It's not necessarily always about the free gifts. They're good. They make somebody feel good, but think about how effective they are is what I'm trying to get at. Give me's the other day, perfect. Give me's, yes. I don't know. We do have a Givey Goblin in the house. Tony is a self-proclaimed Givey Goblin, so I can call him that and not feel bad about calling him that because he is self-proclaimed. So let's do another butter pat here, you guys. Look at this one. There's a price. Let me take the price tag off. All right. We have another butter pat going on here. Porcelain butter pat. No? What? Why are you? He's shaking his head. Oh, from the top? All right. He wants to show it from the top. I'm getting the razor. Oh my gosh. Y'all. Did anybody want a husband? Oh my goodness. What do you want me to do? I don't know what he wants me to do, you guys. He's driving me insane. Would you like to come and sell my butter pats for me? We're going to show it just like this. So go ahead and... He is getting so mad at me because I will not do it the way he wants because I don't know what he wants. I know.
Let me show you what I see. And you tell me if you see the same thing I do.
What are you seeing?
Exactly. Where is the chat? There you go. Thank you very much.
Anyways, we have this gorgeous butter pat. I'm going to show you the back of it. No chips or cracks. This one is in great shape. It is beautiful. It is porcelain. Not even much paint wear.
Dragonfly. I know. And then we get the shake.
We get the shake because I'm shaking because I can't sit still. And that's up and running. If you like a shaky butter pat because my hands go like that. I heard a big seller say that Whatnot shipping bundles but resets at 5 pounds. That is accurate. Rawson, we'll talk about that. Unless Lysandra wants to talk about it.
Yes, Dragonfly. And that's my fight with her the whole entire time.
Delta Martin, thank you so much. First purchase. Ducks in the chat, you guys.
Thank you for your first purchase.
Do you want to talk about shipping resetting at 5 pounds?
Not really.
Not really. I'm going to make her talk here.
Honestly, it just depends on how you set up your ship settings. So, like if you're doing max shipping on your show, you would have your ship settings set up a little bit differently. Like for over 5 pounds, you would have it set up for a large flat rate box. And what that does is it mitigates the cost of shipping within the live show. Like, because if you have it set for, let's say, a max of $9.21, which is what it charges or what it costs to send a package to a customer in a large, any kind of flat rate box, including a large flat rate box, or a box up to 5 pounds that is under 12 by 12 by 12 dimensions. If you're not doing max shipping, then you would typically have that over 5 pounds in your ship settings set up to go ground. And that's when you see that 5 pound reset for a lot of customers. And it's not always exactly 5 pounds. It depends on how far that customer is away from you and a whole bunch of other different factors. So my answer is it depends.
It depends. That's the biggest answer in life right there. All right, we had another question. Well, I'm gonna read. I gave out one of my shows, finished shipping, but the buyer got quality. Yeah, and if you want to do giveaways and you want to give something of quality, go for it. I mean, I'm not against giveaways. I just think there needs to be a strategic purpose why you're doing giveaways. Somebody asked about, or they made a comment that said that if you're a new seller, it's not smart to do dollar starts, but they're thinking about doing it anyways. I don't know who said that. It was up there. I just made a quick note about it. So I want to address that. If you are brand new, like first show new, don't do dollar starts first show new unless you have enough financial reserve. You will probably lose money. You may lose money the first few shows you do dollar starts. So be prepared if that's the route you want to go. I would suggest doing a one price, like $5, $10, depending on what you're selling, like a one price across the board when you're brand new. Get a few shows under your belt, then ease into lower prices and reduce shipping. I don't suggest doing it on show one, just because you need to know what you're working with first.
The percentage that we were looking at when we were doing free shipping was 35% was going into the shipping cost. So 35% of what you're making money-wise, you're going to end up paying for shipping.
For free shipping, if you're doing free shipping.
Correct.
And it depends what you're selling. I sell large vintage decor. It costs me more to do free shipping. For reduced shipping, I spend about 15% of my gross goes to my shipping cost on reduced when I do $4.50 shipping, which is kind of my norm. Now, as far as dollar starts, I think we come around to dollar starts in almost every show. Yeah, definitely free shipping is a whole different animal. But dollar starts are a huge strategic tool. People are afraid of them. People get too focused in on each individual item. They're like, I got to make my money out of this item. Get that out of your head. Look at it as a big bulk thing. You're looking at the whole show, the whole week, the whole month. Are you making profit? Me, I'm those people. You can't look at each individual item. You've got to look at the whole, at it in its entirety. When I always do dollar starts, do I lose money on some items? Absolutely. Do I make more money on other items? Yes. And some people do $3 and $9.21 max as a newer seller. So you've got to find the mix that works for you, but you can't even get to that mix unless you have some experience behind you, a few shows to do some, look at your numbers and decide what is the best mix. Nervous, I'll get to your question in 1 second. I saw it pop up there. Good morning, Miss Jenhen. Dollar starts are a tool. But it's not just the fact that you have a dollar start. Are they going to bring people in your show? 100%. Are they, is it going to get people to try to stay and get a good deal? 100%. But you have to have all the other qualities. Just because you do dollar starts doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Just because you see some big seller doing it, you've got to do all the other things that we talk about all the time. Don't reschedule your shows. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Give a good quality show flow. Have the same consistent show time and time again. So it's not just a standalone. It's a tool to use in the larger aspect of being consistent overall in your business in order to make it work. All right, Nervous. I hope that answers your question. What video resource can I look at to help determine all these percentages during my pricing? There probably isn't one. My husband seems to think there is. What you can go to is we talk a lot about pricing. And so I do on YouTube. So you can watch my YouTube shows. I have a guide in the bin. There is a guide about pricing. where that you could purchase and read about pricing. I also talk about it on these shows, so you can go to YouTube. We talk about pricing on the Reselling Roundtable, which is our podcast on Sunday evenings at 6:30. It's myself, I Love Discounts. That's who you just saw, Lysandra, her husband Tony, and Green 13. So there are a lot of things you can do. They're not going to tell you exactly how to price, but they're going to give you the psychology behind it to help you determine what's the best way for you to do it. Let's see. I do standard bundle shipping. In my last show, I had someone who purchased a lot from me, but all of a sudden it was wanting to charge certain of shipping per item on small things. Oh, that was weird. Because you have Farmhouse, I have no idea. Maybe a whatnot glitch.
So before she goes forward, let me show you. This is on YouTube. And we have a bunch of different topics that we've touched on. And I believe somewhere...
38 hours of educational videos.
Yeah, somewhere around here.
We did talk about pricing in one of those.
Let me switch to the live. And see if marketing, shipping, systems, buyer-centric, scaling, room count. There's some about the pricing strategies somewhere around here. I can't seem to find it.
Should have been one of the first shows.
You can go in there and look and kind of click around, but we do talk. We have a whole 2-hour show of 3 different perspectives on pricing on Reselling Roundtable.
Negative.
Paying
addict.
for promoting Addict shares. Oh my gosh. One last thought on dollar starts before I answer Addict shares question there. It's not an all or nothing. Keep that in mind, you guys. We hear dollar starts and we think, I can't do a whole dollar start show. This isn't a commitment to do everything dollar starts. Pick 1 or 2 items. You can build up to it. It could be a special event. Do 1 or 2 that you're comfortable with. See what the outcome is. Try it a few times. So just don't get in the mentality of the all or nothing. Okay. Paying for promoting, 100% no. Nope. Here's why. You're good, and there's going to be people who disagree with me. That's okay. We all have our different perspectives. My reasoning for that I'm telling you it's not worth it is data driven. I'm not going on emotion. I'm not going on feel. I'm going on data. I actually did an experiment. I did an experiment where I took 3 shows, my similar Saturday morning big selling shows that were not promoted, and then I did 3 that were promoted, and I compared the numbers. I dug deep down and looked at all the data. Tony would disagree. Here's the thing. The data that Whatnot gives you is not supported by any backup, anything factual. They give you a lot of big flashy numbers. So when you get that email from them, it makes you feel good. You're like, wow, 4,000 impressions. Man, my show got put in front of so many people. What they're not telling you is who those people were. You can't dig into the numbers. Were those card people or were those people interested in vintage? When it tells you numbers about the dollar amount or the new buyers because of their promotion, I was able to dig through and found out that those new buyers, not all of them, but some of them were people who already knew me. They're already coming to my shows. That's not a new buyer. That's not why I'm paying to promote. So they give you a lot of flashy numbers that they can't support with actual data. If you can't support it, I trust, but I verify. If I can't verify, then you're full of bullshit. And that's how I feel about promoting. There are people who will 100% disagree with me, and that's okay.
Delta, there are other applications on the, at least on the iPhone end. I've seen a couple other applications that they claim to have the ability to show the information of an item, but most of them are gonna just use AI to determine what type of item you're looking at. So it's a flip of a coin. Now she has learned to determine whether the hen of a nest, it's not necessarily authentic. It's just not necessarily a brand new reproduction.
Delta, send me a DM. I have some screenshots that give you some steps to help identify real hens on nest. So I'll send it to you and it'll help you be able to determine it. Honestly, you guys, to determine authenticity is one thing, But if you're using Google Lens to get your values, it kind of doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what the price is on eBay. That's not the price on Whatnot. This is the beauty of doing a one price, of doing $3 starts, $5 starts, dollar starts, because it doesn't matter if the guy who's selling your same item on eBay thinks it's worth $100. It matters what the people in your room think it's worth. So kind of keep that in mind when you're trying to value items. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, whatever an internet site, Google, eBay, Etsy, it's not Whatnot. All that matters are the people in your room. And I can tell you from experience, I can have people in my room that will value this item at one price, and then tomorrow it could be valued at something completely different because I have different people in the room.
Good morning, Medic Girl.
Yep, only worth what they're willing to pay for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, because somebody put a pre-bid on this a while ago. I cannot tell you if this works, but how cool is this? It is like a vintage microscope in a box. It would be such a cool display item. Comes with some other little pieces back there. I love it. I actually have one of these that I bought from Extending Grace Shop sitting in my office. So we're going to run it. I think it's pretty neat. It is an actual, it's an actual microscope. I just can't vouch for it working. So I would use it for decor purposes. And Mel and Stella's going to get something really cool here.
Completely agree, Daisy.
Oh, yes, Daisy Lane. I got a question for people after this runs. Thank you guys for your bids. I'll appreciate that. Southern Charm, we may have a better microscope for you. Chris Ann with the first purchase.
I already bought it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It's already in my car.
Did you run the graphic? I didn't see because I turned around. That was the first purchase. Don't they get a duck?
He ran mine.
Thank you for your first purchase.
Yvonne, if something is broken in transit, it depends if they're in the customer service program or not. If you're in customer service, the seller pays for it. If they're not, Whatnot covers it. But eventually everybody's going to be paying for it. That's the whole thing about us moving to our own customer service. There was another question I saw here a second ago I wanted to address. Oh, Daisy Lane says, low and level starts reduce price stress for you and your buyers. If you are a person who does varying prices, is that stressful or just kind of like, maybe not stressful, but irritating? Like, does it bother you? Is that like a difficult part of your business, the pricing? So put an emoji in there if you're one who does a different prices, if you feel that's a difficult part of your business, a challenging part of your business, or it's stress inducing to you.
Yes, forgotten memories. That's correct. September 1st. But according to the article, if you want to request enrollment beforehand, you can do so.
So we have a few people that are like, yeah, I hate figuring out pricing. I hate it. It's stress inducing. And my question is, to what end? To what end? How many of you have listed something for $10? It didn't sell, so you listed it for $5, and then for some reason it got bid up to $12. Maybe not those exact numbers, but that scenario.
Nervous Nelly, Whatnot sometimes launches updates and they're testing different things, and that's when things are not working. And then what they do is they backtrack on it, and then everything starts working again.
We go back to, it's the buyers that do the value. So all this time, all this energy that you're putting into trying to figure out the right price, this is why we say do one price. Just $5 across the board. You pick your price, but let's just say $5 across the board. I don't care if you pay 10 for it. Source right. Make good decisions when you're sourcing. Don't buy it for 10 if you don't think you can't sell it for 15. And that doesn't mean price it at 15. That means starting it at 5 and having it bid up to 15. Sometimes I feel bad when they have dollar start and sells for way cheap than what it's worth. It's definitely who's in the room. And don't feel bad. If you are doing dollar starts, that's your decision as a seller, and you congratulate them and you're happy and you pack it right and you ship it just like it's a $1,000 item. That's our job as sellers. And if they're not acting like that as a seller, I probably won't go back and buy from them again. Source to the price point within your niche. There you go, right there. That sums it up. Yep, they're starting all over it, but it's the even start price that makes it worth it. I hate it when they complain. Exactly. Don't complain. There's just no reason to complain. There's too much complaining on this app. Way too much. Do you guys like vintage cookbooks? We have an Anyone Can Bake book. Look it.
So before she goes into that, and that way the people who are not familiar with this, they can see it. There's a webpage where Whatnot updates their status. So if you go to status.whatnot.com, you can see it right there on the very top. It says subscribe for updates. And then here you can see the service under maintenance, and you can tell the way everything, all the systems is working. So you got the registration, 99% uptime, etc., etc., etc. So if you're looking at all that, you can see when certain things are not working properly. So the shipment is good, but it's under maintenance at this moment. You can see right there. And then the selling is operational, purchases are operational. So in here, if you see any issues with Whatnot, you can track what could be the problem in this page, and that way you can either reschedule your show or do something about it.
And I went and ran and grabbed something while he was doing that. I'm like, oh, I got to go run real quick. Okay, I got a cookbook, you guys, from 1929. Look at this. Can you show from the top? Look, it has handwritten like recipes and stuff in here. And it's actually down here, and I know it's hard to see, 1929, Anyone Can Bake cookbook. It's still, there's a little separation, but how neat is that? This is definitely an old cookbook. This is a collectible piece, and it is running right now. You can see some damage on the outside, but heck, this is almost 100 years old. 100-year-old book there. How cool is that? Thanks for the bids.
Absolutely forgotten memories.
Southern Charm, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys, helpoutwhatnot.com. I mean, anytime in my show, we're going to try to show you if we can. We're going to try to support what we're saying. But in anybody's show, you should be able to ask, where is that information from? And you should be able to verify it all the time. Just make sure you're doing that. All right, what other questions do we have? What else are we going to talk about today? I think I got caught up on what you guys had. I know on Monday, we started talking a little bit about various metrics and how to measure metrics. How do I get to that status page again?
Here, I'll put it back up. You see on the very top right here. It's going to be status.whatnot.com. And then once you do that, the page is going to come on.
There you go. And we got a couple of people put it in the chat for you too.
Thank
so
you,
can
Sassy.
follow
Thank you, Forgotten Memories.
So let me ask you guys a question. What is a metric? I have been on here for 2.5 years. And there are people on here that are in the chat right now that have been on longer. Sassy Vintage Chick, I would go, say hi again, Michelle, if you can. So the Sassy Vintage Chick has been on longer than me because I would go to her chat shows to learn when I first started. So in my room, when I'm doing any type of chat show, I am totally open to anybody in the chat. If you have an answer to a question, the more the merrier, because I don't know all the answers. So, and I know I have a lot of experienced, good people here who can provide answers.
And she's a community host as well.
Yep.
So if someone might have a little bit more of an insight, it might be her. So, and she has a chat show as well.
And in my 2.5 years, I have tried pretty much everything. And I'm very open. I think this is something that people need to know when you're listening to me. And the things I'm saying is, I have a full-time job. I have a job that pays my bills. I have a job that puts a roof over my head and does all those things. Whatnot for me is building a foundation for when I retire, for when I don't have that full-time job. Because of that, I have a higher tolerance to risk. I can lose a little bit more money and not worry that it's going to mean I don't eat or I don't have a roof over my head. So I do try to make that point every now and then that I have a very high risk tolerance. So I will do free shipping, dollar starts. And over my 2.5 years, I've dabbled in a lot of this and experimented with a lot because, and I don't say it in a bragging way, just because I have a higher tolerance to risk, I could take that risk to lose a little money and play around with these things so that I can learn and come and talk to you about them. So if you were new and you're like, this is my full-time thing, or maybe you're not new and this is like, no, Whatnot keeps the roof over my head, your tolerance to risk may be a lot lower, and you may be like, look, I can't do dollars, but I'll go to $5. So just because I say something, I am not telling you that this is the only way to do Whatnot. I'm giving you thoughts from my experience and found a lot of times I'll point out just basic business principles to build off of. There are a million ways to Whatnot. Thank you so much. I appreciate Kippy. Oh, that is so sweet of you. So there are a million ways to Whatnot. Just because I say it doesn't mean that it's the right way or the only way. So I just want to make that clear, because a lot of times we'll go into these chat shows and we'll think, oh, that they've been here for 2.5 years or 3 years and they know everything. We're all learning. We're all growing and learning and changing, from new to old.
I'm going to pin something on the bottom. You do not have to purchase it. Click on the listing, and there's an image that you can screenshot. Screenshot the image. Is a list of chat shows that was put out by Blasian Bunny. This is what she recommends, and there's a lot of good information coming from these sellers. So there's the listing on the bottom. She forgot about Sassy. That's why I was gonna make the point. Sassy's not listed in this one, but go ahead and follow Sassy. Give her follow, because her chat show is pretty good. But besides, she's super funny.
Someone tell Bunny, I'll message her.
Yeah, I will message her. But
so yeah, they're all good chat shows on there, and these are people that are trustworthy people. There's only 2 that I don't know. I keep saying I need to get in their shows, but Blasian Bunny did some homework to make sure that they were good people. Addict Shares. I have a question for you. What do you sell? First of all, what do you sell?
And before that goes, here's the Sassy. And as you can see right there, Whatnot community host, and there's her chat show.
Today. It's on today. Dragonfly says, for an example, she's been here since February, does $3 starts, and has over 25K in sales in the black. It does work. Doing a one price low starts works. I know it's scary. I know it's hard to get over that mentality of I got to make profit on every single item. It does work. That's why people do it. I talked about this on Monday. I'm not going to go back to it, but someday I will.
Timeless. It's right above you. The Sassy vintage chick.
You're new to vintage and whatever bargains you find. So Addict Shares. I'm a firm believer. Let's see who got this giveaway, and I'm going to answer your question. T-Bubble Fizz, you got that giveaway. I'm a firm believer in having a business plan. It doesn't mean you need a 15-page written out, professionally typed business plan. But you need to know what do you sell, how much of it you're going to sell, where you're going to source it, and how you're going to sell it. 4 basic questions you need to be able to answer. So we're with you right now. We're working on what are you going to sell. That ties into how much. The larger volume you do, I think the more mix you can incorporate. If you are just doing a small show of 50 items, that show should probably be far more curated. Business plan, stay here. Whatnot stuff's fine. There you go.
Here goes Sassy one more time.
There's Sassy, yeah. Let's ask the chat. I would love to hear 80 people in here. Do you, of your favorite shows, would you rather go into a show that is curated, that hey, it's this type of decor, or the women's clothes, or primitive decor, like it's kind of focused on a certain aesthetic? Or do you just want to go in and be surprised and you're like, I get what I get? Are you rando? Are you curated for what you like? There you go. There is a mix. You're never going to make everybody happy. So pick what you're going to sell and be consistent with it. being consistent. Be a consistent rando person or be a consistent curated person, at least for that show. If you're going to have a show every Tuesday at 8 p.m. and it's curated, keep it curated every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And then maybe you do a random show Fridays at 5, but keep that Friday at 5. Consistency is more important than the actual mix, because you're going to have some people who love it and some people who don't. That right here, that was like the most 50-50 chat, like response I have ever seen. It was like boom, boom, boom. One likes this, what, back and forth. So you've got to pick, what can you source? What can you continually source reliably? Is it storage units? If you're doing storage units, you're going to be all over the place. But you said vintage. Can you consistently get primitive? Stay in primitive. If it's a little bit of vintage, if it's MCM, primitive, blue and white, whatever, then do random. The way I've done mine, because I am in vintage and I get a lot of whatever, I've separated it into 4 aesthetics. And I have one show that's glowy, one show that's like neutrals, one show that's timeless and elegant, and one show that's primitive. And that's what goes into those shows. Molly, you've got to find the time that works for you. For me, mornings are better for me, but that doesn't mean mornings are going to be better for anybody else. That's the time that I find works for me. What you need to do, what is more important than finding the right whatnot time, because if there was a right whatnot time, what would happen? Every single person on whatnot would be on at that time, right? Then it wouldn't be right anymore. So what you need to do is find the time where you can put in your anchor show. An anchor show is the show same day, same time, okay? Every week, after week, after week, after week, without fail. Commitment, consistency. Find the time that you can commit and be consistent over and over and over again. That's your time. That's when you do it. Then from there, you're building your audience. And eventually, if you're like, this time doesn't work for me, I'm going to start experimenting. You keep that anchor while you experiment to find something else. Then you run the 2 concurrently for a while, and then you drop the one you're trying to get rid of, because now you have slowly transitioned all those people that you built up to that one time over to the next time. Okay? Nothing is like, this is the biggest misconception on whatnot. Now, I know there are a few sellers who are kind of big that made it big by doing pop-ups. They were also here before there was 50,000 other people on the app. Okay? They also grew up with the app. I'll get to the pre-bids. I see them. We're getting to those pre-bids. I'm not forgetting y'all. But the biggest thing you have on here is your consistency and your commitment and showing up over and over again. If people don't know where to find you, they will not come to your show. Dent glass, missing on Mondays. I need to have some plate shows. How do you think it would be to have plate shows on? I think you should try it.
That's why I'm consistent. I'm going to do a show February 29 every time.
Every leap year. Once every 4 years.
That's consistent.
Okay, let's run this butter pat here. Let's see if he's going to yell at me this time. I don't know what he's going to do. We're going to put it on here like this so it doesn't shake, so I don't get yelled at, y'all. I want to read Rawson's too. I'm going to let you guys admire the beauty of this butter pat. Look at the little... It's like you can feel it. It's like embossed on there. Ooh, who's it from? Let's see. What is this? I didn't even see this.
You don't like my consistency, Lysandra?
Can you zoom in? It's in England. It's an England butter pat. I can't read it. Something B.
Avon.
Avon didn't make butter pats. I don't think that's Avon. Is it? All right, out of England. Okay, you saw it. I didn't put it on there. It came with that stamp. It's going to run right now. Up and going.
That's right, Sassy.
A different Avon. Yeah, that's weird.
I'm the wizard behind the curtain.
Oh, dear Watson, with the first purchase. Y'all, we are just celebrating first purchases today. Thank you, everybody.
Scuba. No, they're not the new thing. They've been the thing for a while, but they're come and go.
I want to go back. I keep reading Rawson's thing. There has to be a better answer than the one I gave. I typically do vintage glass and miscellaneous decor on Mondays. I need to have some plate shows. How bad do you think it'd be to have plate shows on a Monday? I don't know. I would try to incorporate a few and see how your audience reacts to it. Are butter pats the new thing? Butter pats have been the thing for a while.
Yeah, she missed the mark.
I missed it. I was reading Rawson.
Thank you, Forgotten Memories and Dragonfly. Avon It's a place
Is a
in
place.
England.
Thank you. I did not know. So it's a place in England. I am going to have to Google that now so I can learn a little bit more. The town of Avon. All right. Well, I knew. Hey, look. At least I knew it wasn't Avon like the perfume Avon. I knew that much. Butter Pats, yes. So Scuba Stevio, Butter Pats have been around for a while. I personally saw a decline in the sales, and now I feel they're picking back up. So field trip, let's go to Avon. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. I want to run this thing. This is a crystal sugar bowl that is so pretty. Stratford on Avon River is where Shakespeare is from. There you go. Now you have a Butter Pat from where Shakespeare is from. You guys, this is the most gorgeous. I don't know if this is Princess House. You tell me. Whenever I see these etched floral, like this etched flower on here, I always think Princess House, but I may not be correct. Oh, good morning. Look at my shipper showed up for work. Would you like to say hello? So yeah, this is not marked Princess House, but when I see this, that's what I think, because a lot of Princess House pieces have that. But it is your sugar bowl with a little indentation for your spoon. It is nice and thick. No chips or cracks. It is a really gorgeous piece. And that's running right now.
And the piece of tape is free.
Is there a piece of tape on there? Well, there was tape on the lid. I was a little last minute last night in getting things out. I wasn't as prepared as I try to be. 52 vintage finds. Congratulations.
On its way to you.
All right. The question I think I was going to ask you guys, and then we'll get to the rest of those pre-bids. I do see them. I'm not ignoring you guys. What metric is the most important metric to you? What is the one metric, if you had to pick one after every show that you're focused on right now, what's your one metric? Average order value from I Love Discounts. Net, AOV, average order profit, dollar per item order average order value. That seems to be the most popular. That's mine right now. Average order value is mine that I'm currently focused on. People in your room. Okay. So let's pick. I heard average order value was a big one, kind of leads into profit. What are your recommendations to increase average order value? Let's talk about it. How do we increase our average order value? Because what you focus on, what you measure will improve. So if you in your business pick your one metric at a time and you start focusing on that one metric, you start thinking about how to improve it. We source better. Right off the bat, we source better because if the less you're paying for it, the more room, the more margin you're making. But even sourcing better is a first start, but that doesn't necessarily always improve the average order value because we are looking across the board. We're looking at the whole show, taking your gross amount that you sold, dividing it by the total number of items sold. That's your average order value. That's how you get that number. So the gross amount divided by the number of items that got sold, which could be $6 an item, $10 an item, is going to give you that average. Repairing items, so increasing the quality of the item will help increase the average order value. That's a good one. Bundling is a big one that will increase your average order value. Any other ideas? What are you guys doing to focus? You're like, hey, I need more money overall on these items. What do you do with it? How are you doing that? Choice. Yep, doing choice because then you get buyers that are pitted against each other and that can increase your average order value. Yes, increase the quality, sell less crappy items. Paying attention what gets bid up so you know what to source better so that you'll have in the future shows get bid up higher. Oh, hold on, my packer's here. I got to put the items we've sold over here so she can start packing. Give me 1 second, y'all. Well, I don't have labels on them, so she's going to have to wait. Hold on. Zoe, you're going to have to wait. You can come down after the show once I label them. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm not going to stop the show to label items right now. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Do that. Thank you. She's like, I can just go look at the sold tab. Yes, you can. She's a smart girl. Make sure you get the Butter Pats correct. Look at the pictures on them. Okay. List items. Yes, listing items can increase. That's working for me right now. List in advance so people can see. They can do their own research if they want to research, so they're comfortable bidding up to a certain dollar amount. Here's one of the benefits of pre-listing. When you go into a show and it's random, unless you're like a really knowledgeable collector of that item, you're going to put a price on that item. And that price is usually a little lower than what the seller wants to get. But if you see an item that's pre-listed and you take the time to research it, I am not Zoe. I'll tell you, I'll address that in a second. If you take the time to research it, you may realize that that $20 value you had in your head is actually really low. And that if you were to buy the item somewhere else, it may be at list for 100. So now as a buyer on Whatnot, I've gone from 20 to, oh, now I'm willing to pay 50. So pre-listing, even though a lot of people are against pre-listing can help increase your average order value.
Hotel lobby, absolutely. I'll look into it and reply.
Have a variety of items and rotate. People get tired of seeing the same stuff. Absolutely, they get tired. You cannot, if you're going to just start on here, have enough for at least 3 shows, and then use some of those profits to go and buy new inventory. If you keep showing the same thing, people will quit coming back. It's the reality. And people say, well, but I can't buy more until I sell this. How many times are you going to go into your favorite department store, and see the exact same clothes until you're like, I can't go clothes shopping there anymore because they never change your inventory. It's the same stuff I didn't want last week. Let's see, Reclaim Vintage says, I had beautiful brass tulips from the 70s, tried to sell in several shows, put them in the show, and they sold in 2 days. Yeah, sometimes it's taking stuff away. Here's another, see ZQ, you got that giveaway. Here's another way to increase your average order value.
Congratulations.
Believe it or not, lowering your price can make you more money. Going down in price can increase the amount of money that you're making. Think about that. Now it's the opposite on static listings. So on eBay, we tend to think if we increase the price there's this connotation of if you see something for $10, it's okay, it's $10. But if I tell you it's worth $20 on eBay, you're going to be like, oh, that's a nicer item. Increasing the price on static listings can tend to spur a sale. Where on Whatnot, decreasing a price can actually bring more money and increase the sale. It's people thinking they're going to get a deal, then they get that phantom ownership effect, and you've increased your prices. What about somebody said net and gross? So let's talk about the difference between net and gross profit. If we want to increase our gross profit, so gross profit, you got revenue, you got the price you paid for the item, then you got your gross profit. So your gross profit is before all those other expenses, right? Before anything else is gross profit. Some of the same things apply if you want to increase gross profit, except now you have 2 ways. There's 2 ways to make more money. Everybody, this is the simplest business problem ever to solve. Okay, how do I make more money? There's only 2 ways. You bring more in or you put less out. One or the other. Spend less, exactly. You spend less or you bring more in. So if you want to make more money, you're either going to increase your average order value, you're going to employ some of the stuff we've been talking about. We just threw out a ton of ideas on ways to try to do it. Or you're going to spend less going out. What's spend less going out? Source better, package better, package smarter. Instead of putting heavy wrapping paper, use bubbles. Get a bubble machine. Lighter weights, less cost. Don't do fancy envelopes. Do plain envelopes. Things like that. So there are ways when you start looking at it. Sell more. You could sell more, but selling more is not always better. Just because you sell more doesn't mean you're going to get more profit. You can sell more. If you are not improving that margin, selling more isn't going to improve your margin. Selling more is just going to get you more sales at the same margin. Is it going to get more money? Yes. But is it going to get more net? No. Good morning, Tabitha. Where are we at? Let's do this butter pat real quick. Well, we kind of let that sink in. I want to know if there are any other metrics that you guys are like, well, how can we fix this metric? And we'll talk about some ideas. We got a whole bunch of smart people here. We can come up with ideas on how to fix metrics. Put everything in buy now between shows? Absolutely. Have it available. Why wouldn't we? If you're already pre-listing. All right, we have another butter pat here. What is that in the middle? I think that's staining. I think that's staining from age in the middle. It doesn't look like a stamp or a design. Really pretty green on there. No maker's marks. No chips or cracks that I'm seeing. Definitely a little bit of staining, a little bit of crazing going on this one. Repeat buyers. We're going to talk repeat buyers. This guy's up and running. Volume works great if you source right. Yes. Delta Martin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. If you're sourcing in high volume, the more you buy, the cheaper you get it. Okay. For those of us that go to vintage, like antique malls to buy stuff, or we're buying stuff at the thrift stores, picking one item, this item, that item at garage sales, we're probably paying way too much. In general, walk up to the garage sale, buy the whole thing, offer them money for the whole table, the whole garage sale, if that's how you're sourcing. Green 13, Jeremy Green 13 talks about this all the time. Get out there and talk to people. Buy in bulk. Southern Charm, thank you. Buy in bulk. Get out there and meet people. Make friends with your estate sale dealers. Go to the pawn shops. Ask to buy the stuff that they don't want. Ask if they can refer people to you. Meet people. Make relationships. Hiding behind the screen isn't going to get you those vendors that are giving you huge amounts of items at discounted prices. The bigger you buy, it's no different than buying your cereal at the grocery store for $5 a box or buying 2 boxes for $5 at Sam's Club. Buying in bulk saves you money. If you're saving money on your sourcing, you're increasing your net profit. I'm spinning with auctions. I'm saying the auctions are cheaper, but time invested. Estate sales quicker, but more expensive. Thoughts? I'm the opposite. I will rather do more auctions because I don't like the time spent in estate sales. I am not one to get there 3 hours before an estate sale, to get the number, to do nothing for 3 hours, to wait in line to get in there and find out they've priced everything like they're selling it at Macy's. I'm not an estate sale person. I do not have the patience for it. And my last few adventures into that ended in disaster and me being mad by the time I left. I find auctions work for me. However, Southern Charm, she has told me in her past, she has a couple of booths. She's a really great reseller, that she has made connections with people who do estate sales, and that's been a good way to get inventory at certain times throughout her reselling journey. So I think a lot of it depends on where you live, what's available to you, on what are those connections that you're going to make. Look, Shalom says, I offered to buy an estate. The response is, we have 10 ahead of you. They do. But the more you get to know those people, there is a reason why in business you show up with an extra coffee. There's a reason why we bring donuts in the morning. It's not because we want our staff to like us. It's not that we want those people just to be like, oh, good, I'm hungry. That I want to feed the multitudes with these Dunkin' Donuts. I show up at a client's office. It's building the relationship. It's getting your foot in the door. It's doing it over and over and over again until they see me as, oh, Tracy's the one who shows up with coffee and donuts all the time. And then when they have a need that they need filled, they think of me. It's goodwill. That's person to person's relationships. You have to do this. We can't hide behind screens and just do auctions. Now, I do a lot of auctions. I have a hard time getting out there because I have a 9-to-5 job. But I also know that if I don't start doing more of it, I'm not growing beyond where I'm at. I'm going to stay right where I'm at because growth requires that. Build a relationship and the willingness to buy their items, and then you get pushed to the front of the line. Exactly. And here's a point that Green 13 makes. Don't nickel and dime them. Do not be cheap about it. He doesn't say it. I'm rephrasing in my own words. Don't nickel and dime people. Offer them a decent price for their items, even if it means at the beginning you're losing a little bit of money. You're buying that relationship at the beginning. You're paying a little bit more to secure them and show, hey, I'm serious in this. I do have the money to support this relationship. I will be a good buyer for you. And that will be reciprocated.
Hotel lobby. Check your email.
All right, we have some Vera Bradley. We're going to take a breath. Take a breath. Was it repeat buyer? We're going to talk about repeat buyers. I think somebody put in there. So we're going to talk a little bit about repeat buyers. Which way are we showing this, my love? Camera number 2. Thank you. All right. This one's really pretty. This is Vera Bradley. I love the design on this. So classic Vera Bradley. 100% if first time pay what they ask, second time typically will they will drastically discount usually. Vera Bradley right there. This one is gorgeous. I think it's in great shape. I'm too close here to the camera. There we go. No chips or cracks. And look at, you get a little birdie inside of there. It's in good shape. That's some little dust going on. We're going to go ahead and run this beauty. We're running it right now. Going. Do I have any more butter pats today? I probably have a few I can run. We can run a couple as random. We'll go grab a couple more, Delta. You guys get a glimpse at my notes. A glimpse at my my emotional support pad here. Cindy with the first purchase. Congratulations.
Thank you
in the
for
chat,
your
everybody.
first purchase.
I'll see if I can get my daughter to grab some more butter pats out of the back. I think I have a few more. Is that a complete set? What set? I don't know what set we're talking about.
And that's a bot.
Oh, is that a bot? Are you sure it's a bot?
Yes, it is.
Thank you for your purchase from the bin. Does she collect Vera Bradley? Oh, that's great. That would make a great gift. It's in really good shape for a gift. It's definitely giftable. 100% giftable. Okay, repeat buyers. How do you guys...
Thank you, Millie.
Thank you, Millicent. How do you guys encourage repeat buyers? Repeat buyers they're the ones that when your business is slow, when maybe you're sick for a week and you're not on, these are the same people that are going to come back to you. How do you identify a bot?
Nervous Nelly. If you notice, it's just a random question. In most cases, some of the bots like this one might be a little smarter and it's trying to ask a question related to what it's happening in the show. Some of them will ask a random question about cards, or if we were not running a set, as you can tell. It was just a unique item. And so they ask a question, they prompt a question, and when you go to the profile, you're going to see that
I'm gonna go get
it
butter
only
pats.
has one follower, or it has 0 followers. So once you see that on the profile, and you notice that the way it's behaving, you identify that as a bot. So what I do is I immediately kick him out of the show and I block him. You're very welcome. That's a good question, Southern Charm. It'll be interesting to see. I doubt it. I think it's just other people being unproductive.
We got some more butter pats we'll run in a minute. Let's run these picture frames. These are those old vintage picture frames. Tell me that your grandma didn't have these with your school picture in there. You know, your little like kindergarten picture with your hair sticking all off to the side. We have 3 of them. They are all the little tabletop with the little thingy. I forget what that's called. The easel back. We're going to run all 3 of them together. If I can find the listing. There it goes right now. Up and running. Do you have those? You're not old. Shalom, I have seen you. You are anything but old. There is no way.
You're just cool.
Yeah, I know. These are like getting popular. Mill and Stella. These would be good. Are you using these for cards, Mill and Stella? These would be totally cool for cards.
On its way to you.
All right. Reverse. My mind's on something else. Repeat buyers. What are we doing to increase our repeat buyers? I talked about this was it last Friday in my show I talked about this? Oh, did you got in her show? That's awesome. So for repeat buyers, you guys, last Friday I talked a lot about this. And I'm going to hound in consistency and commitment, but it's not just about... What are you laughing at? He's laughing at me, and I don't know. I missed it. Whatever it is just went over my head.
Forgotten memories.
Okay. To get people to come back to your show it's a reciprocation type effect. We if you guys missed it, go see on Sunday night. We talked about this on the Reselling Roundtable. The more you give, the more people want to give you back in return. It always baffles me when I watch other sellers who are not bundling, they're separating. You're going to get one pepper shaker, then you're going to get one salt shaker, or they're like, the rules are so strict. I sat in a show the other day and somebody red chatted. Now I wasn't modded, so I couldn't see the red chat, but you knew by the conversation, this is what happened. Somebody red chatted as a brand new seller in this room of like 100 people. They red chat, can I promote my show? They didn't just throw it in the chat. They red chatted. Now, is that effective promoting in shows? That's a whole nother topic. It's not. However, I felt, in my opinion, they were very respectful saying, can I promote in your show by doing it in red chat and not just blasting it? The seller was like, my rules are you don't even ask. Boot, kick you out. Does that encourage, one, anybody in the room to want to come back, or for that person to ever want to come back? No. The more we give, the more giving we are, the more people want to come back. And how do they show their appreciation to you? 1, returning. 2, being active in your chat. 3, buying stuff. Libby, did you see that? I don't know. I was just in a room and I saw that, and it kind of blew my mind. It blew my mind that somebody acted like that. I paid over $100 for what I thought was a pair of candle holders. Nope, just $1. Okay, so Moonlit Vintage, you make a really good point here, because that is what leads to buyer remorse. However, as buyers, look at sellers, we have a lot of responsibility. We need to be honest, we should be truthful, we should be kind, we should be giving. These are all the things I just talked about. And strategic and smart business owners. But buyers, this is an auction. You are buying as is. You are buying based on what you're seeing, hearing, and the descriptions you're reading. If you're not comfortable with that, don't bid. I'm not trying to be mean. But it is an auction. Auctions are not Amazon. Whatnot's not Amazon, where you get it and you're like, no, I changed my mind. Oh no, it doesn't fit me right. No, it wasn't the right size. Oh no, there's a tiny chip that wasn't disclosed and the seller probably didn't see it, but I still don't want it. It can't be that way. This is a two-way street. If you don't want me canceling your orders, don't cancel your orders on me or any other seller. I'm just saying in general.
Cindy, I think there's a time and a place for everything. If you allow to do that in your show, that's your prerogative. That's your show, and that's how you run it. And some other people and some other sellers, they might not allow that because they reserve the right, like Green 13, they reserve that privilege to raiders or to certain people. So it all depends on the seller. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that there's a time and a place.
I don't like promoting, and I have changed. I have grown in my whatnot thinking on this. I used to allow promoting. The Serial Hobbit, somebody asked to promote in Red Chat and got booted from the show because the seller had an absolute zero promote policy. They didn't promote. They asked in Red Chat. It could have just been, no, we don't allow that, and moved on. I felt it was a very rude way to handle it. However, that aside, every seller is going to be different, and it's okay. If you allow promoting, that's okay. It's your show. You set the rules and policies for your show. I've changed my thinking. I used to allow promoting. Madewell Vintage, thank you for coming on over to my show and bringing your friends.
Welcome in, Raiders. Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Madewell Vintage, thank you so much. My name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We're doing a chat and sell, and please take a moment, put in the chat what you sell, who you are, when you're on, all those details, so that anybody who likes that can click and follow you and come and see one of your shows. Thank you so much for coming over here. Okay, let's talk about promoting. So I used to allow it. There is an evolution. When you are brand new on Whatnot, what happens? People are quiet in your chat, right? You want people to talk. So a way to get people to talk is to say, hey, everybody, promote your show. If somebody rates, we'll get into ways to make it special. So you want people to promote their show. So most new sellers are like, yeah, let's promote their show. as we start to grow and we get to a certain amount of people in the chat, and you're trying to keep up and answer questions people are asking about the products you're selling, if it's a chat show, answer questions because you're trying to recognize people, you're trying to keep that engagement going. Having that gummed up with a bunch of promotions, it's hard as a seller. It becomes difficult. And particularly in a selling show where I don't want the people in my room, I want their attention on me. I'm going to be selfish. This is my show. When I am selling, I am going to be 100% selfish, as every seller should be. Your show, your room, the attention should be on you to sell your product. That's what you're there to do, not on everybody else trying to get you to go to their show. That's one. So it becomes difficult as you move on. And if that sounds harsh, I'm very sorry about it. The other part about it is, as my show notes say, no promoting unless invited to do so. Promoting in the chat is not effective. Join the conversation. Make friends. That's going to take you way farther than promoting, just putting your show in the chat will any day. Everybody is more than welcome to come in, talk to each other, talk to me. And they get it too. Yeah, so I would rather you be here, and you can be every other comment in the chat and addressing every single person and say hello and have all the side conversations you want. Do that all day long. That's going to get you farther and be less distracting to the show than a promotion is. It's a win-win for both of us that way. So it's not that we're being strict and saying don't do it. We're trying to offer a solution that's a win for you and a win for me. So, yeah, and everybody has different ways to address it. I just felt that was a harsh way, but it's their show. They do it the way they want to do it. So the other day, first time this happened, I didn't know how to react, and then everyone was asking. Mel and Stella, and I'm not getting on you because I know you. I'm not getting on you. But this is where we go back to saying, have this prepared. Think about this before your show. What do you say when a raid comes in? What do you say if somebody has to promote? What are you going to do if you see a bot? What are you going to do if somebody's rude in your show? What's your plan? At least taking a couple of seconds to consider that helps you from being caught completely off guard. Yeah, it was the consequence. Exactly, Livy. I agree. It was the way it was put across. Yeah, definitely, Chatty. The movement in the chat helps the seller's algorithm. You're helping them by not promoting yourself, but by making friends in the chat. You're helping yourself and you're helping the seller. Again, it's a win-win. This is what we should always do. When we go into rooms, we're looking for a win. We're looking for a way that's good for you and good for me at the same time.
Yvonne, you can invite them to not be. And if it's still they choose to be disruptive, then what you can do is say, look, if you don't want to be part of this, then we'll be more than happy to send you on your way, or you can choose to go to a different show.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, we are getting close to the end, but we have, if you have any other questions, feel free to throw them in there. I am going to kind of switch gears here, and we're going to focus on going through the pre-bids, and I do found some random butter pats that we will run after the pre-bids too, for those of you that are interested in more butter pats. But feel free. We're not ending right now. I'm going to do all the pre-bids because I've been keeping people waiting, and I hate that. I hate to make people wait. But if you have more questions, put them in there, and we'll keep chit-chatting throughout what we're doing here.
Absolutely, dear Watson.
Yes, you guys, please feel free to come back. And our shows are also all on, I can't talk, on YouTube, so you can always go back and rewatch them. And if you're new to me, if you've never been to Zoe's Treasures, if this is your first time and you're like, damn, that girl is like amazing. Right, no, really no. I'm just giving myself a big head. But if you do like the conversation, we do shows every Friday morning. We do a business topic on Friday mornings, and then we do tax on Friday night. Thank you so much, Shalom. You guys, I appreciate it. I was kind of just joking.
Thank you.
Is Tony awake? They want to see Tony. Nope, he's still asleep. Thank you, guys. Let's run this this item that my husband stuck out of my reach. What's your thoughts on raid trains? Oh,
Cindy,
yeah.
and as you can see, when we have a raid, that's what I like to do. I like to highlight the seller. So that's a special thing that I like to do when we get a raid.
Are you a tax person? Oh, dear Watson, I love that. Yes, I am a CPA. If you've never met me, I am a CPA. So I do bring my business, tax, accounting background and experience to Whatnot. That's kind of my niche. That's what I do in addition to selling vintage decor. That's awesome, dear Watson. That is really cool. We're going to sell this one. I'm going to talk about Ray Train since we have the, I knew what you were saying, the enroll. I knew what you were saying. We're going to also talk about Ray Trains because we got that while we sell these last few items.
Absolutely, the hotel lobby. I'm glad that you got it.
So we have this beautiful piece, a little washed out. We'll get the lights going. There we go. Let's see if there's chips on the other side. No, looks good. Little flea bite there, nothing really major. Tiny little flea bite. Nice and clean. Don't know who makes it. Show you the back side is plain. So you got flowers on one side. The other side is plain. And that's running right now. So while this is going, my thoughts on Ray Trains. I have been on Ray Trains. I conduct Ray Trains. And I actually have no objections to them. However, what I do have objections to, I just don't think is smart business, is people who build their business based on Ray Trains. That's not your business. That's Ray Trains conductor's business. If Yvonne, congratulations on this. Thank you so much. If all you do is chase trains, where's your strategy? And I'll expand on that in just a second here. You guys, I am an hour from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Say it louder. Thank you, Mel. I'm an hour from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and this is a glass Hershey Kiss. Is this not adorable? It doesn't glow, but it is really neat. It is red glass, like a cranberry color red, with that swirl in there, and it's probably about 2 inches tall. It is adorable. And that's running right now. So your business should be based on your strategy. You sell what you sell. Yes, Pennsylvania people, you sell what you sell. You have your shows, all of that stuff. Thrifting Lux goodies with the first purchase. Congratulations.
Thank you for your first purchase.
Yeah, I'll explain the Ray Train. Let me get this next item running and I'll explain what a Ray Train is. We have, this one's nice, you guys. Mini bud vase. And look at this. Look at it, like the line down here. It is so unique. He's getting it. There we go. You have that line going down there. What a beautiful mini bud vase. It stands about 4.5 inches tall. And that's going to run. So a Ray Train is when somebody organizes a group of people to come together, and it's usually centered around some type of a theme. And the first seller goes, and then they raid into the next seller, and then they raid into the next one. So it's all organized. You have a set time, a set theme, and there's usually rules that you need to follow. Oh, you're near Scranton. That's awesome. Shalom. Thank you, thank you. And that's a Ray Train. So you will see them. Look at whatever category you like to shop in. Just look. You'll see titles that say Ray Train, and you'll see a bunch of people, and they all have the same thumbnail. They're popular. They can be fun. Don't ever go on a train to think it's going to make you money. Just get that out of your head to begin with. Trains are about community and about marketing. Here's the thing about it too, and this is where the strategy comes in. If you pick Ray Trains just to say you're vintage and you only pick trains that are in vintage decor category, guess who's going to see you? Only the people that like vintage. But guess what else? People who like plants like vintage, people who wear clothes buy vintage, people who eat food buy vintage. So getting on a cross-category train that puts you in front of these other audiences is more advantageous to you.
Absolutely, Grammy. Absolutely. So to better explain it, Rivers, a Ray Train is a group of sellers that agree on setting up their shows to a certain time. And so one person starts, and once the show is over, they go and they send the audience to the next seller, and so on and so forth. So all the sellers are going to be sharing the same audience, and in some cases the audience starts growing, and you get some Ray Trains that are over 1,000 people, sometimes even more.
And Grammy G makes a good point. Don't let the Ray Trains overtake your regular shows. You still do your regular shows. And the other part of the strategy comes in. Let me get this started, and I'll talk about the other part of the strategy. So this is a Southwestern vase. Vase. It comes from Phoenix, Arizona. It's New Wheel paint, something new, something pottery, hand painted. It was really tiny. Really beautiful one. I look at the top of that. Look how gorgeous that design is. It reminds me of a sunset. It is in great shape. We got one tiny little scuff mark. You can probably get that right off. Running right now. Isn't a raid supposed to be unannounced? Yeah, when you raid from a show, but not a raid train. Do you think showing location in wallet? What do you think of showing location in wallet? I love knowing the state where people are in. I want to support local peeps. I mean, if you want to share the state, shalom. Thank you so much. That's going to you. Like a police raid. Yes, I for beauty. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Showing the state in the wallet. Explain that a little bit more. Oh, Sassy, thank you. Yeah, there is a new app that's out there that a lot of the raid trains are listed on. There's also a lot of people have websites. I know Visual has a website. CG Boomerang has a website that lists raid trains. There's a lot of different ones that you can go and find trains. Be careful about which trains you accept. You can spend hours preparing for a specialty train and get 1 or 2 sales. Exactly. So there's 2 more things to the strategy. One, if it's a raid train that is on something that you don't normally sell, why would you get on it? Why are you going to buy stuff that's not in your wheelhouse to sell just to be on a train? That makes no sense. You're going to get stuck with unsellable inventory. NXDH. I'm missing a comment. Hold on. I got to take a time to read that. The other part of the strategy is make sure the train fits your brand. Okay? And here's the example for me. My brand is accounting, business, vintage. It is production, more, I don't want to say professional, but a little more like conservative, straight-laced. That's the brand I come in. You don't expect me to see me dancing a whole lot or wearing funny hats. That's not who I am. So that's not my brand. So when I'm thinking of, good morning, Blasian Bunny. So when I'm thinking about my brand, I'm also considering the trains I'm going to be on. For me, the trains that do something really goofy or silly or dress up a lot, besides Halloween, my favorite holiday, I do those. Besides those aren't the trains for me because that doesn't fit who I am. The trains that are more like, let's talk about how do we support the community or talk about a business thing. Those are the trains, talk about something to help. That's my brand. Those are the trains that I'm going to be on. So you also want to make sure that you're not confusing your buyer base by being completely outside of your brand. And they're like, what in the heck's going on with this person, right?
Live you. Yes, I can throw in hats on her, but that's just me being silly.
That's just him being silly. Absolutely. All right. We've got a hair receiver. This is a classic hair receiver. For local, I added a local grocery store, and I may put. Oh yeah, now that's a safe way to do it. Never put your home address. I actually think it's against terms of service to put your home address in your local meetup. I could be wrong. Double check me on that one. It's not against. Okay, I think that maybe it's just a recommendation not to. Then
it's a recommendation of safety, not to put your home address, but.
These fascinate me and gross me out at the same time. So if you don't know what a hair receiver is, back in the day when the women would tease their hair way up, they would save hair from their brush or hair that fell out, and they would put it in here. What are you trying to tell me? Thank you. They would put their hair in here. So when they would tease it, they would pull the hair out and use it to tease it really high. So it's fascinating and disgusting at the same time. And so we're going to run it. I know that was the worst sales pitch ever, but there you go. A hair receiver running now. It is porcelain. It is in wonderful shape. You have 2 hair wads that you found in an old tin. Are you saving them? Is it like a collection? Or Yvonne, thank you so much. That's going to you. Oh, I keep putting them back there. I need to put it over here. Are you going to
tease them?
Or stuff pillows with them. Yeah.
That would be a little hard forgotten memory since I don't have hair. Well, I do. I just choose to shave it.
So something about local pickup and not being allowed.
But I can give you an eyelash or an eyebrow.
I put a local store for pickup. Somehow my order is being shipped there. Attic, make sure that you didn't actually change the address in your profile. There's two different. No, it's the same one, isn't it? Just make sure you didn't change the address in your profile as the local pickup address.
Your profile can have more than one address. Just so you know, you can add more than one address.
There you go. They can sell, well, I mean, they make human hair wigs. So, what was I going to say? There was something about, I lost it. I lost my thought. It's gone. I don't know where it went. Okay, let's run this last one.
And yes, Liv, that would be also a good way to use the hair catcher as a planter.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. And a little air plant in there. Yes, Forgotten Memories makes a good point. If you are new to the app, on your address, make sure you put your username or your business name in your return address. Don't just put Bob Smith, because I don't know who Bob Smith is, but I know who Forgotten Memories is, right? Make sure you have that, because a lot of sellers will send stuff, no packing list, no marketing material. Why take the time to source a good item, put on a good show, pack it the right way, not to remind the person who they bought it from? You're missing a big opportunity there. All right, this is Pink Azalea. So this is Noritake. It's from around the 40s. If Pink Azalea is your vibe, I have a ton of it in the bin. I am liquidating my whole collection. I've been collecting this for quite a while. So this is 1940s China, Noritake, which is Nippon became Noritake. So one of the very famous China makers. These are all hand painted. So here's your Pink Azaleas.
Welcome in, Raiders. Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
TLC Mama Bear, thank you so much for coming on over and bringing your friends. Y'all, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We are just wrapping up a few sales here. We're doing a chat and sell. We're just kind of talking about everything. TLC Mama Bear, I absolutely know who you are and how wonderful you are, but there may be some people in here who don't. So please, please, please take a minute. Who you are, what you sell, what you do, all the gorgeous things. I wish I could put up a picture of your beautiful backdrop, because y'all, TLC Mama Bear lives in Puerto Rico and she sells from her balcony, and it's like you can go on vacation. You can just open up her show and you feel like you're on vacation, because it is the gorgeous, the best backdrop on Whatnot. But please put it in the chat so people can follow you. And thank you guys for coming on over. We're going to run this Pink Azalea teacup and saucer. Again, if this is your vibe, I've got a ton of these pieces and I'm willing to make deals on these if you want to buy like a lot. Remember, we're talking about buying in bulk is a smart way to buy. But for right now, we're going to run this teacup and saucer going right now. Backdrops matter as well. Absolutely. Mel and Stella cards, thank you so much. We do have some random butter pats we're about to run as a random item in just a second. You guys, we've been talking all morning about tips and tricks and things for how to improve metrics. One of the things to improve your metric, you want to make more money, you want people to come back, you want people to stay in your room when they get there, right? All these things we want. We want to have higher order values. Guess what's one of the things that really contributes? You may not think it does, but your background, your environment you're creating directly affects if they want to come in your show, if they're going to stay in your show, if they're going to buy from you, if they're going to come back to your show. You are giving them an experience. The experience isn't this. Me holding this here is not your experience. What the experience is the product, and the product's actually the least on the list. It's the product, the sound, the light, the backdrop. When I go into a show, I'm a little bougie. I'll admit it. I'm a little on the bougie side. I don't want to shop at Dollar General. I want to shop at Macy's. And I'll tell you what, your shows have a vibe. What is the vibe? Are you a Dollar General show? Are you a Macy's show? Are you a Louis Vuitton show? And I'm not talking about selling those brands. I'm talking about how do the people feel when they walk in your room. When they enter a room, what does it make you feel? Aaron's got a thing with the bed, y'all. Don't ever sell off your bed. Totally agree. But what you are providing is going to set the stage, the mood, the vibe, and it directly affects everything else that is happening in your room. So think about that. When you're creating the experience, you're not putting on a show. You're not just doing a show. You're not just selling butter pats. You're not just selling a t-shirt. You are giving people an experience that they want to come back to again. That's what creates loyal customers. That's what creates repeat buyers, increases your people in your room, increases the average order price you're getting, and makes you successful. The whole success thing on Whatnot, there's no secret formula. There's not a book you're going to buy that's going to tell you how to be successful. There's not a, any magic thing, course, workshop, all that's not going to tell you how to be successful. What is going to be successful is the experience you create and doing it consistently over and over and over again. It's going to look different for each person. The experience that TLC Mama Bear creates with that gorgeous Puerto Rico backdrop up on her balcony and those trees in the sunset, it creates a vibe, a mood, completely different than the experience I'm creating. So there's not a good or a bad, but you as a seller need to be conscious of what you are providing to your people and then expect whatever that is in return. If your vibe is Dollar General, don't expect people to be bidding your stuff up over $1,000. It's not going to happen, right? So you've got to think about it realistically. It's not just hit go live and sell something. There's a lot more to it. Okay, with all of that, let's run these butter pats, and then we're going to go find somebody to raid. And the sound, I know. I just love watching her shows.
The cookies, those are awesome.
And she has like really great snacks and coffee. So, snacks and coffee. You had me right there. I'm in love. All right. I'm going to do 2 sets of 2 butter pats here. So this is the first set. They're matchy. There we go. So gold trim around the outside. We do have crazing on these ones. Here, I can't read that. Can we zoom in? I cannot read that. It's too little for my old eyes. Semi-Virtuous Porcelain KTM Company. That's who makes these. You're going to get 2. Matchy. They're the same. No mark on this one, but there's a mark on the other one. That means Ironstone, you guys. Ironstone butter pats. Let me find my random listing here. I hit it. It's lost in here somewhere. Here it is. All right. 10 seconds. 5-second restart. They're running 2 Ironstone butter pats. Southern Charm says it's Ironstone. I'm going to believe it because she knows her stuff when it comes to primitives. And to me, Ironstone is primitive. So that's that. Thanks for your bids. Delta Martin, those are going to you. Congratulations. That one, hold on. That absolutely has to get a sticker because that's a random and I do not want to get that messed up. There is no picture to go with that. All right, the final 2. These ones are good. You guys, these ones are good. Blue and white. 2 butter pats. Stained, crazed, no marks on the back. They feel thin like porcelain, but oh my gosh, look at the staining. Is that a repair? Okay, so I see a line, just so full disclosure, I see a line here, but when I turn it over, I do not see it on the other side. Okay, but stained, crazed, gorgeous. You're going to get both of them. They're running right now. These are kind of matchy, a little bit different in the designs, but they still have that same blue and white look to them. Thanks for your bids. And Shalom, congratulations. Those are going to you. Let me get a label for that one too, since that's a random. All right. With that, you guys, we're going to go find somebody to raid. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. We're going to be back on Friday morning. I forgot. I didn't even write down what our topic is, but it's on the title of the show. It's going to be a business topic. I think it's about staying strong when the shows aren't going good. I think it's like persevering through maybe shows that aren't so great. So something like that. That's Friday morning, and then Friday night we're doing tax. Have a good rest of your week. I'm going to go enjoy some time with I Love Discounts, and they have a show tonight. They're going to be showing, maybe not from this location, but maybe over there in my basement. What time's your show? 7 p.m. jewelry show is going to be tonight for I Love Discounts. You learned what a butter pat is today? Well, great. And I learned about Avon in England. So it's a good day. We've already learned something. We can go shopping now. That's what happens. You learn something, the reward is to get to go shopping. With that, have a good day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your day.